It's time for Yankton Bucks football on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. Brought to you by our corporate sponsor, First Dakota National Bank of Yankton, and the following Sportscaster Club members: Midwest Insurance Agency, Murph's Appliance, Yankton Thrive, Stockman's Motorsports, Les Schwab Tires, MT and RC Smith Insurance Agency, Linda's Angel Crossing, Hy-Vee, Boss's Pizza and Chicken, Vichet, Elwood Dental, Raven Books, Floortech Cleaning and Restoration, Angela's Mexican Store, Yankton Rexall, KFC Taco Bell, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Dragonfly, Slumberland, Larry's Heating and Cooling, America's Best Realty, Larson Carpet, Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Yankton Medical Clinic, All Seasons Power Sports, Wentz and Ray Funeral Home and Cremation Service, JR's Oasis, Intech Cleaning and Restoration, The Bone Setter, Kalen's Indoor Comfort, Triple Time Rudy's, Farmers Union Insurance, Meridian Photo, Ram Tire, Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts Yankton, and H&H Roofing. Now to the field with the voice of Bucks football, Zach Spear.
Hello and welcome to Vermillion, South Dakota. It is time for a championship game that'll be played against the Yankton Bucks and the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stotes as Yankton Athletics on Classic Hits 106.3, and Yankton streaming on YouTube is brought to you by First Dakota National Bank of Yankton. First Dakota has proudly supported the dreams and banking needs of their customers for over 150 years. They offer personal, business, and ag banking solutions for every stage of your journey with 2 locations, downtown and North Broadway, Yankton. What a beautiful night. Of course, we're inside, so weather maybe not quite a factor here as it has been, but it's great to be in the Dome and just excited for playoff football. Again, alongside me is TJ Stotes, owner of the Bone Setter Chiropractic office in Yankton. TJ, you used to play for the Bucks, and you were a junior when they made it to the state championship. Tell me about the feeling and the excitement in the air surrounding that team.
Well, you know, it's electric when you get to go to any state championship game, right? You're excited. The nerves are running. The adrenaline's running. You just want to get to game time. And so right now we're watching the Bucks stretch out down there on the field, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're getting pretty hyped up, getting pretty excited.
And this is it, the championship game. It'll be the Bucks taking on the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. Standings, rankings, records, none of that matters now as winner takes home the title. Loser's going to be runner-up. Earlier in the season, it was fireworks between these teams. I'd expect the same tonight. Let's take a look at the numbers leading up to the trip to the Dome. Yankton scoring 32 points per game, first in AA. Pierre scoring 30.5 points per game, second in AA. Yankton allowed 19.5 points per game on defense. Pierre allowing only 15 points per game. And then the total difference, Yankton's average game, they won by 12.5 points per game, second in AA. And then for Pierre, the point difference is an average 15.5 point per game swing for them, which is first in AA. Those numbers don't tell you how close of teams these are. I'm not really sure what will. Both top 2 in scoring and point differential this season. But that being said, don't be surprised if neither team reaches the 30-point mark. It's all or nothing. Defenses are going to need to get stopped. On top of that, with both teams being the top of their class, it could just be which team makes less mistakes. Let's take a quick look at the history between these teams in the last few years. Back to 2022, Pierre won both games in the regular season 55-10, and then in the state semis 59-31. To 2023, Pierre again went 2-0 against Yankton in the regular season 27-14, and then in the state championship 2 years ago, winning 35-7 over the Bucks. Last year in the regular season, Yankton got the win, 35 points they put up on Pierre that game, and then lost in the state semifinals 14-9. Now this year, regular season, it was homecoming for Yankton. They won it 35-28, and it was a thriller. Of course, we'll see who wins the state championship here tonight. This is your Anytime Fitness of Yankton pregame show. Let's make healthy happen. We've got a lot coming up on this pregame, more so than usual. Of course, the usual coach interviews, highlights from last week, but on top of that, we've got our Sounds of the Season, captain interviews, and we'll have a preview of what happened last time these two teams faced off. For the Sounds of the Season, let's take a listen to that now and see how the season progressed for the Yankton Bucks in 2025.
The Yankton Bucks opened their season with a win over Huron at Tiger Stadium with a final score of 41-24.
Tate Bestie puts a man into motion. To the right side they move. He'll drop back to pass into Owen Eidsness. Catches it for the first Bucks touchdown of the year. Now Porsche has Hulse directly behind him. Takes a snap, looks to pass it across the middle. Throws it. This one picked off. Cale Hazelhorst, the first interception of the year. Now the kick up in the air, Bucks to return it. Running up and picking up is Drotzman. Across the 20 he goes to the far side. He's got some room to run across the 40. He's going to make it to midfield. Makes the kicker miss. Got some room to run. One man to beat. Miles Drotzman brings it in for a touchdown.
The Bucks then had their home opener against Watertown in a victory of 52-26.
Bestie will drop back. He wants it all. Puts it deep. That one bobbled. Caught. Abel Bryan. Touchdown! Pitkin sends his guy over to the far side. It's Kessler Swenson. Takes the snap. Drops back. This one picked off. Cale Hazelhorst, another interception. He's got room to run. Crosses the 40, the 50. Only one man to beat. Cale Hazelhorst. Pick six, Yankton. Catching it at the 11-yard line there. Tegan LaCroix brings it to the far side of the field. Has some good blocking. Up to the 40 he goes. Gets around, sets the edge, right back into the middle of the field. He's got one man to beat across the 20. A great block. Touchdown, Tegan LaCroix.
The Bucks' hot start to the season then continued in Week 3 with a 63-6 win over Douglas.
Handoff here, Edley Amaro Jr. He's going to be hard to bring down. He's going to cross the 10. No one's going to bring him down. Amaro brings it in for a score. Rolling out, firing it up. That one picked off. Yankton an interception. Across the 20 to the 10. Makes a cut into the end zone. Touchdown, Bucks. Gavin Johnson with pick six, number 2. Again, Sedlacek right back up the middle. Plenty of room to run. Makes a cut towards the middle. Gets around his defender to the 20, the 10. Jason Sedlacek is going to get it in from 49 yards out.
The Bucks then traveled to Harrisburg to take on a AAA opponent in the Tigers, losing 3-49.
Drops back, a quick pass. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Stripped away. This one going the other direction. A turnover forced by Yankton. Carter Boomsma has it. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bestie looks to throw it. He's going to roll out. He's going to use his legs to get the first down. Yankton dropping back and firing it. Caught. Teasy has it. Brought down at the 30-yard line. 4th down. Yankton gets a stop.
The Bucks then bounced back on their homecoming night against Pierre T.F. Riggs, winning 35-28.
Out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Again up the middle. Carson Krall jukes the first defender. Touchdown, Yankton. Tate Bestie drops back to fire it. Has a man open. That one caught. Owen Eidsness. Touchdown, Yankton. Jason Sedlacek in the backfield alongside Tate Bestie, who drops back, fires across the middle. Wide open. Owen Eidsness catches it. That's going to be ball game.
Then the Bucks fell for the second time as on the road they took on Sturgis Brown, losing 21-27.
Bestie, the hard count, hands it off. Sedlacek on the far side, brings it in. Touchdown, Yankton. Bestie wants it all, goes deep to Owen Eidsness, somehow pulls it in. Touchdown, Yankton. They'll take the snap. Kano in the middle, fires it. This time picked off. Yankton with the interception.
After that loss, Yankton bounced back in a tough game against Brookings, winning 14-7.
Huntimer faces pressure right away, brought down and thrown down for a sack. Edley Amaro Jr. 3rd and long. Huntimer again dropping back to pass. He's brought down by the Yankton defense. Back-to-back sacks. Tate Bestie from the shotgun immediately rolls out of the pocket. Looking for anything, fires it to the end zone. That one caught. Owen Eidsness. Touchdown, Yankton.
Then the Bucks really hit their stride in a huge win over T-Area with a final score of 31-7.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jason Sedlacek in as the running back. He puts this one into the air. Carter Boomsma pulls it in. Boomsma to the 30, the 20. He beat his defender. He'll bring it in for 6. From the shotgun is Dashiell Lowry. Takes the snap, drops back, immediate pressure. This one lofted high up, in and out of the hands, intercepted. Yankton picks this one off. Up to the 37-yard line. Tegan LaCroix the interception. Again, a run up the middle. Ball's on the ground. This one scooped up by Yankton into the hands of the Bucks all the way to the touchdown.
In the final regular season of the game, Yankton traveled into Mitchell to beat the Colonels 40-7.
Strong setup, direct snap here. Tegan LaCroix tries to follow his blocks, dives it in, touchdown. The receiver on each side puts his guy into motion, hands it off. Easton Feeser up the middle, got a hole, finds a seam into the end zone. hazing out of the shotgun. An option, flips it out, ball's on the ground. It'll be scooped up by Yankton. Jacob Bivens recovers the fumble.
Into the playoffs, the Bucks went, and in the quarterfinals found a tough opponent in Spearfish, winning 12-7.
Once again, Sidlacek will get it. Patient running. Burst through a hole across the 40 into Spearfish territory up to the 29-yard line. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Tegan LaCroix to take the direct snap. Every time it's been a run, it'll stay the same as he follows his blocks and brings it in for a touchdown. Yankton with a 3rd and 7 from the Spearfish 13. Bestie fires it, has a man wide open. Owen eyes this touchdown, Bucks.
And last in action, the Bucks had a rematch against Sturgis Brown in the semifinals, this time pulling off the win 41-28.
Kano takes the snap, fakes the handoff, Erie, and passes it to West. This one picked off. Yankton an opportunity to bring it in for 6, and they will. Miles Drotzman, the interception for a touchdown. From the shotgun, Tate Bestie lofts it up to Carter Boomsma, pulls it in. Yankton scores a touchdown. The Bucks defeat Sturgis and have punched their ticket to the Dome and a chance for a state title as they'll take on the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors.
Hi, I'm Franny Kiefer with the Yankton School District Alumni Association. We strive to create a community of alumni and friends who support extracurricular and educational opportunities in the Yankton School District. Through scholarships, grants, innovative education opportunities, and staff appreciation. With us, you will keep connected to a community of Yankton School District alumni and friends all over. You can help continue to pay it forward and help future graduates. Register today at the Yankton School District Alumni Association website.
Your local KFC Taco Bell at 2504 Fox Run Parkway in Yankton offers 2 menus combined into one. Something for everyone at KFC Taco Bell. When your family's hungry and can't decide between crispy chicken and mashed potatoes or tacos, burritos, and protein bowls, well, you don't have to choose. Get the best of both worlds in one stop. Cool down with the legendary Baja Blast Freeze or heat things up with a variety of hot sauces. KFC Taco Bell Yankton. Why pick one when you can have both?
Again, you just heard the sounds of the season, highlights throughout the entire year, and what a fun year it has been. Another thing I got to get was the captains all came in to chat and tell us a little bit about themselves. We'll take a listen to that now.
Hi, my name is Kale Hazehorst. I play free safety and wide receiver for the Yankton Bucks. A championship for me would really mean everything with these guys. The amount of work we put in for the past 4 years, and we've all been playing football against each other and on each other's teams since junior football, and we're still practicing on the same field to this day. It really mean everything to me. These guys are my brothers. The best part about playing football with Yankton for me has been just like the culture around it, wearing the Y on your chest. It really means a lot. I remember back when I was a little kid, I'd always be the kid standing outside the locker room giving high fives to other guys like Rex Reichen, Brady Hale, and all them. And watching the 2014-2015 championships, that really meant everything to me, and I hope we can repeat that this year for us against Pierre. And one fun fact about me is that I'm a state hurdle champion in Class AA.
Hi, this is Easton Fieser. I'm a linebacker for the Yankton Bucks. To me, a championship would mean the world. I mean, growing up watching football and, Yankton sports in general, just watching my siblings play. You just live for this moment, and, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun, whether win or lose. So it's going to be a great moment for me and just to remember in general. The best part about playing football with Yankton for me has been just being with my buddies and hanging out with my friends. It's all I really look forward to at the end of the day after school is, just going out on the field with my boys and having some fun. And I would say one fun fact about me is Pregame favorite artist is Lady Gaga.
Hi, this is Owen Eisness, wide receiver of the Yankton Bucks. And to me, a championship would mean really everything because I remember, I think it was 2014, and I got a picture on the field with actually my coach. His name is Mr. Hale. He's a special teams coach. And I got a picture with him and my dad on the field after the game when I was like 5 years old or something like that. So that was really awesome to see right there. And I just remember always being right outside the locker room and giving high fives to everyone and always wanting to be a Buck when I grow up. And that kind of leads into the next question. The best part about playing football is just like the culture and how like everyone wants to be part of the Yankton Bucks and play football here. So it's just really been awesome. And then one fun fact about me, I'd say, is I'm the biggest Dallas Cowboys fan in the whole entire world, and if they lose, it affects my whole mood the rest of the week.
Hi, this is Peyton Eustace, right guard for the Yankton Bucks. To me, a championship would mean everything. ever since I was a little kid, loved watching the older guys play football, and I just wanted to be them. And now that I am, the championship would mean everything to me. The best part about playing for the Yankton Bucks to me has been just the camaraderie, like a brotherhood. All the brothers there and all the teammates, coaches, they're all just like a big family. And teach me, football has taught me a lot, like discipline, a bunch of stuff. Fun fact about me is I like disc golf.
Hi, this is Tate Bestie, and I'm quarterback of the Yankton Bucks. To me, a championship would mean a lot because of all the hard work we've put in this year and everything we've done over the past 4 years to get ready for this week. The best part about playing football with YHS for me has been probably hanging out with my friends all the time and messing around at practice and before practice and just having a good time on the bus and every road trip that we go on. It's always fun. One fun fact about me is I really like to golf, and I've really enjoyed golfing my entire life.
And you just heard all the captains, the team captains for the Yankton Bucks, and might I add, just a great group of kids. Even if they're a captain or not, this Bucks team just really solid. As I had mentioned earlier in our pregame, it was fireworks last time these two teams played, as it came down to a game winner with the Bucks winning. We were able to put together that complete final drive for the Bucks. If you're tuned in on Yankton streaming on YouTube, you can watch and listen live on Classic Hits 106.3. You'll hear the game call now. It's the offense that they are used to running. This has the makings of game of the year. It's already been such a good one. 3 receivers off to the right side, 1 to the left here. Tate Bestie working from the shotgun. Sedlacek, the running back, next to him. Carter Boomsma gets moved last second before the ball is snapped, and another penalty, and it's going to be a false start on Yankton. First and 15, that is penalty 14 now on Yankton. And I mentioned earlier in the game, penalties have yet to bite them in the rear. Right now, it kind of feels like that's the case. After last possession, they got stopped, giving the ball up to Pierre. First and 15, now back to the 30-yard line is Yankton. Same formation as the last set for the Bucks. Tate Bestie takes the snap, drops back. Looking, he has all day, fires across the middle. This one caught by Boomsma at the 36-yard line. A 6-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 9, but that took a lot of time off the clock for 6 yards, TJ. Timeout's going to be called by the Bucks here.
It sure seemed like Bestie was waiting for something else further downfield to open up, but it just wasn't, so he had to drop down and take the 6 yards.
2nd and 9. Yankton with the football. We're tied up late into the fourth quarter of play. Tate Bestie, a duo of receivers on each side of the line here. Sedlacek still in as the running back. And this is when you want your best running back for blocking in. Bestie fires it. He's got Owen Eidsness at the 50. A 14-yard pickup and a big one for the Bucks. 1st and 10, and Owen Eidsness got out of bounds, TJ. So the clock will stop. 29 seconds. The Bucks now at the 50-yard line, needing about 25 yards of offense. 1 or 2 more of those, and they should be feeling a little bit more comfortable. But, of course, you never know what to expect in high school football. 3 receivers now all on the left side. Football on the left hash. Abel Bryan, the lone receiver on the right side. Expect to see it coming his way. Bestie thought about it. He will fire it out of reach of Carter Boomsma. 2nd and 10.
Pierre pulling back and not rushing very hard right now, giving Bestie almost as much time as he wants, which may or may not be working in his favor. He's sitting in that pocket awfully long right now.
I wouldn't mind to see a bootleg here for Tate Bestie. There was plenty of grass with Abel Bryan drawing that one defender out deep. I know running the football is not exactly what you're looking for in a time crunch, but if you've got 15 yards of open grass and you can trust Bestie to maybe make one defender miss, I wouldn't mind that bootleg. Again, Abel Bryan, the lone receiver to the right, the other 3 all on the left side from the shotgun. Tate Bestie, he will move to the far side. That pass caught and diving out of bounds after an 8-yard pickup to Owen Eidsness again. Yes, Owen Eidsness on the catch makes it 3rd and 3 about. They'll give him 7.5 yards on it. We'll go with 2. It's a long 2, a short 3. Tate Bestie, another completion to Owen Eidsness, who has his 8th catch of the night. 20 seconds to play, 3rd and 2. Bucks have the football on the 43-yard line of Pierre. Tie ball game. Touchdown or field goal wins this. Now a strong set to the right side. Bestie fires it. Caught! 35. Owen Eisness gets around the first defender. Runs out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. A huge play for Yankton.
And just like that, the Bucks have put themselves in position to give their kicker a try, but they still have time on the clock.
An 18-yard pickup from Tate Bestie to Owen Eisness. 1st and 10 from Pierre's 25-yard line. That's where I said you give your guy an opportunity. It's not a gimme by any means, but 11 seconds, 2 timeouts for the Bucks. They've got about time for 2 plays here to try and make this a shorter field goal for either Kevin Ortiz or Liam Villanueva. We could be coming out of this with the kicker as the hero of tonight's game. Jay Sidlacek in the backfield alongside Tate Bestie, who drops back, fires across the middle, wide open! Owen Eisness catches it! That's going to be ball game! Owen Eisness, 25-yard touchdown, Yankton back on top! With 6 seconds to play, Owen Eisness, who else? 34-28, Bucks on top. 6 points, Kevin Ortiz on for the extra point attempt. Ortiz, his kick is up and it's good. 35-28, Yankton leads on homecoming night over the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. And back on the Anytime Fitness pregame show, as we mentioned. And welcome back. We apologize, folks, as we had some internet technical difficulties as we are getting nearer and nearer to game time. That's the issue playing inside a dome, is it's tough to get internet in, and then when everyone's connected to the internet at the dome, you just have these difficulties, but we are back. We should be good for the remainder of the game. So if you dropped off on Yankton streaming on YouTube, we are back up and running again right now, as we were about halfway through that Coach Steve Steele interview, and we're just going to probably bypass that right now as we don't have quite time. We want to make sure to be present and ready for everything. But again, thank you for joining us. I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stotz, and we're just going to send it now to the interview with head coach Brady Muth of the Bucks on your Anytime Fitness pregame show. Game is set for 7 o'clock. We should be in for a great one here tonight. Back on our coaches' conversations, Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks. Coach, before we get to any questions, congratulations on making it to the championship game.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a fun week. A lot of things going on, but it's a fun week and one we've enjoyed.
Your team playing well as of late. Let's talk about the semifinals win over Sturgis Brown.
I think that game, we got out of that game what we needed. We needed to play really good defense, and we needed to run the football, and that was our focus going into the game. And I guess in review, from a coaching perspective, that's the thing that I'm proud of. We set our mind, we were going to go out and we were going to execute a game plan a certain way, and coaches put together a really good game plan, and the guys executed it, I'm not going to say flawlessly, but everybody graded out pretty high. And so from that point of view, it was a really good game for us, set the tone going into this game.
And you talk about both the running game and the defense. The passing game is something I wanted to shout out, as it felt like Bessie and the receivers had a much improved game and were a little bit more back in form from the prior week.
Yeah, some of that is just the opportunities that Sturgis is going to present you just with the type of defense they play. But another of that is just hard work and diligence on that group of guys, those perimeter players, and Tate specifically, getting into the film a little bit more and then working on things that they can work on themselves. Before there's any coaches here, a lot of those things just when to break your route off, win routes, everybody, we got what's called a win route, making sure that you know what your win route is and everybody's on the same page and can execute. And I think that's what maybe you saw a little bit of.
Coming up, it's the final game, a chance for the state title in the Dakota Dome. You take on the Governors. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
It's a completely different game from the first time we played them. You can throw that first game out the window, and I'll be totally honest with you, you can throw all the other games out the window too. They don't matter. The only one that matters is this one right now, and Pierre is a much different football team. They've got a different quarterback. Their offense looks an awful lot different. Their defense for the most part is the same, but their defense presents a lot of problems to you just because how active they are. And so we've got our work cut out for us. This is going to be a Pierre team that they've really, especially in the last 4 or 5 games, they've really started to understand who they are now with a little bit of a change in identity, and you can see everybody, executing at a high level. We've definitely got our work cut out for us, but it's still the same type of football game. We've got to be more physical, limit big plays, and take care of the football.
And I love how you worded that, because my very next question, right about talking about last time you played them, the difference between the coach and the media guy. What are some things you would like to see improved, though, that you maybe didn't go as well last time?
Yeah, I mean, number one, we still gave up too many big plays in that first game, and that's something with Pierre you've always got to be cognizant of. They've always got a big play ready to be dialed up, and you've got to have an answer for that. I think the big thing that we've got to get better at is just being better on money downs, on big play, on big down plays, third down on both offense and defense, making sure you're getting off the field on defense and converting on third down. The second half of that game, Pierre is always really good in the second half, and they did a really good job of making adjustments. And so how well we do to outflank their adjustments, I think that's something we got to do a little bit better with. But again, I think that comes down to physical play. If you play more physical, it's going to answer a lot of those questions for you.
And you've mentioned how with this being the final game, no matter what, your guys can play more freely. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I mean, that's the beautiful part about playing in this game. This is the game that everybody wants to get in because you don't have to worry about any consequences. And that's the way life should be. You should be able to go out and you should be able to execute and have confidence that you're going to do things the right way and not have to have any fear of failure. There's no, recourse other than losing a game. And in the grand scheme of things, we're more worried about winning each rep. And so, and I know it's a big game. It's the last game, but the big thing everybody wants to play in this game is just because of the freedom it allows you as a player and a coach. And that's why you see in big games people take more shots, and they're a little bit more willing to do some things that they maybe wouldn't necessarily be willing to do. And it makes it more exciting and all of that stuff, but it's just a fun way to play football or a fun way to compete, and that's why we're looking forward to it.
Now let's talk about the group of seniors you have, as it's going to be their last time taking the field for the Yankton Bucks. What is so special about having them on the team?
I mean, number one, it's a big group, and they're a collective group. They've got a hive mindset. Everybody kind of gets, in the same flow of everything, and everybody's on the same page. They work real. There's a lot of different personalities when you got that many people, and they all get along just fine. I think the other thing is that you've got that many seniors. Number one, from a coaching point of view, you've got that many more sets of eyes to look at that you can trust, that have been through and tested through hard games and have put the work in. And to have that many guys leading your team, I think, is an advantage for anybody. But more than that, these guys, just their personalities, they're a fun bunch to be around. They like to compete, and they really love competing for each other.
And Coach, what would a championship mean to you?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is just these players having an opportunity to walk off a field and be able to say that today I was the best there is, and there's no one that can take anything away from me on that deal. And that, for an individual to have something like that, I think it's special. I think, to be honest with you, any kind of competition is special. It just allows these guys a chance to say, I competed to be the best one day. It's a special thing. There's something about championships and people that get to compete for them. The amount of excellence. There's only 2 teams practicing this whole week. It sets you up in rarefied air, and it's just something that you can be really proud of going on down the road here.
And we always talk about 3 keys to victory. I can answer the first one, physicality. What are the other 2 going to be?
Physicality, limiting big plays, and taking care of the football. And I would tell you, those next 2 are just as important as each other, but none of them happen if you don't have a physical football. And we've done a really good job of playing physical football, and we've got to do a great job Friday night to make sure that we're the more physical team out there.
Well, Coach, thanks for always taking the time to chat with me throughout the year. Hopefully we'll be talking next about Yankton's latest title. Good luck and go Bucks.
Appreciate it. Go Bucks.
Again, that was head coach Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks. It's the final game of the year, a state championship on the line. Who will take it, the Bucks or the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors? We'll find out when we return on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
Kaiser Heating and Cooling is your hometown team specializing in all things heating and cooling. as well as heat and glow gas, wood, and electric fireplaces, humidifiers and dehumidifiers, and all styles of ductless mini-split systems. Whether you are building or remodeling, our team of innovative experts will get you the correct equipment and indoor air quality accessories you need for your home or business. Remember, Kaiser Heating and Cooling is your hometown team for all things heating and cooling for the past 77 years. Go Bucks and Gazelles.
Looking for a photo that actually looks like you, but better? At Meridian Photo, we specialize in capturing personality, not just poses. Whether it's headshots, high school seniors, family sessions, or team and individual sports photos, we'll make you look like a legend. We've just landed in the Meridian district of Yankton. Book your session today at meridian-photo.com or give us a call at 605-655-4598. Meridian Photo. Be you. You deserve.
Looking to buy a home or maybe sell? Trust the name that puts you first. America's Best Realty. From your first showing to the final signature, their expert agents guide you every step of the way. Fast closings, top market value, and real service you can count on. Your dream home, they will find it. Selling fast, they will make it happen. Call America's Best Realty at 605-260-1600. America's Best Realty, because you deserve the best.
Larson Carpet has all your flooring needs. Step into their showroom to see a wide selection of all types of flooring. They have soft and luxurious carpet that's sure to bring comfort to your home. Stylized tile to make any room pop. Different color options of hardwood to make matching easy. And convenient vinyl plank for when spills happen. Of course, with the best customer service in the area. Their knowledgeable staff will make sure to answer any questions you might have. Larson Carpet, 212 Walnut.
Do you realize what your Yankton Hy-Vee has to offer? Aisles online, delivery, catering, fresh floral and bakery departments, pharmacy with drive-up, and online prescription refills, Hy-Vee Health Market, dietitian service, fresh seafood department, U.S. Postal Substation, take and bake for breakfast, and family meal deals. Yes, all that and more is at your Yankton Hy-Vee, located on the corner of 21st Street and Broadway Avenue in Yankton.
Dive into the delicious all-you-can-eat Asian buffet, featuring mouth-watering Asian cuisine like broccoli beef, General Chicken, sesame chicken, so much more. Or choose from a fresh selection of meats, noodles, rice, vegetables, Asian-inspired sauces, and watch them sizzle on the Mongolian grill. Plus tantalizing desserts, including ice cream. Get your fill at King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, North Broadway, Yankton.
And welcome back as we continue our Anytime Fitness pregame show. Let's make healthy happen. Again, I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stoats, helping out on color tonight and has helped out all season. But TJ, what people might not know is you're the owner of the Bone Setter, which is a chiropractic office in Yankton. You just celebrated 20 years of service, correct?
That's right. Last night we had a little open house and celebration. 20 years ago in October, I came back and joined practice with my dad, and it's been a great 20 years. I'm sure appreciative to everyone that I've been able to help out in that time.
Well, congratulations, TJ, a huge milestone for you, and thank you for being with me for all of the Yankton Bucks football games. It's great to have you along. Coming up, we have got the championship game, the game where Coach Muth says you can just play more freely. There's nothing at stake really anymore. I mean, there's the state title, but there's no rankings to look out for. There's no, if we lose this game, the next week we have this so-and-so. This is all or nothing right now. Your team can really play full force. What would you like to see out of Yankton right out of the gates?
I'd like to see them come out having fun. If they can come out having fun right out of the gates, that really changes their mentality from nervousness and overexcitement to we're just here to have a good time.
And you can hear Yankton has just entered onto the field. Well, we're unfortunately sitting a little closer to Pierre fans, so we maybe hear a little bit more of the jeering than the cheering. We are behind a sea of green who is letting the Bucks hear it, who have just made their way onto the field. But on the flip side, tons of cheering from the Bucks. The Bucks last in action took on Sturgis Brown in the semifinals in a victory. And here are the stats from that game. Yankton had 5 penalties for a total of 45 yards. Jason Logic rushing the football really carried his team to a victory. 32 rushing attempts, 174 yards, and a rushing touchdown. That's 5.5 yards per carry nearly. Tate Bestie had 3 carries that went for a total of 13 yards. Edley Amaro had 1 carry, and it got no yards. Unusual for him. Easton Fieser, 2 attempts for 7 yards, and then Tegan LaCroix, 5 rushing attempts that went for 23 yards and 1 touchdown. Throwing the football, Tate Bestie went 11 for 19, 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. And receiving, Owen Isaacs had 5 catches, 75 yards. Cale Hazelhorst brought in 2 for 26. Abel Bryan, 2 receptions for 13 yards. It was a big game for Carter Boomsma, who had 3 receptions that went for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Jason Lachek, 1 catch that went 10 yards. For defensive and special team big plays, Tegan LaCroix had an interception. Miles Drotzman with an interception that he brought back for 6, as well as a sack got to the quarterback. Carter Boomsma had 1 interception. Edley Amaro Jr. with a sack, and then Drace Gaskins got on the board with his first sack of the season. And as he talked about it with me earlier in the year, he just really wanted to get a sack, and well, that happened last week again as the Bucks were able to defeat Sturgis Brown. For the Governors, they were able to beat Huron in their semifinals matchup. And for Pierre, it's been, well, just a very Pierre-like season, TJ, as now you can hear the Governors have just come out onto the field. And again, we are sitting behind the Pierre fans, so we do hear a lot of cheering. But it's been, what I mean by it's a very Pierre-like season. They just find ways to win, and that's something Coach Steele talked about. They just find ways to win. Their starting quarterback got hurt just a few weeks ago, and now Jaron Deal in his place has really, he looks like they haven't skipped a beat, and they've been playing extremely well. TJ, you come into this and you know nothing about this quarterback, really. How do you try and game plan for someone who didn't play earlier in the season?
Well, you just do the best you can. I'm sure the coaching staff picked up some tape from somewhere. We're able to watch a little bit of tape and see a little bit of what he can do. But at the end of it, you just put together your game plan. You run your game plan as you run it all year long and do your best to come out and shut him down.
Here on the field, we've got 1 minute on the timer. I assume we'll have our national anthem, then our starting lineup. So we do have the color guard here, too, and military to present the colors. Of course, we'll keep it here so you can watch and listen live to the national anthem. And then the starting lineups coming up. The Bucks as the number 1 seed. They've got their red jerseys on with white trim and white pants as well. On the opposing side for the Governors, white jerseys trimmed out in green, and it looks like gray pants with the green helmets, as now it is getting quieter here on the field as they're getting ready for the national anthem. Again, we'll keep it here for that, so if there is a moment of silence, just know that is when they are presenting the colors, as we love to honor America and keep it here so you can be a part of the national anthem. Here at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota, home of the Coyotes, the Yankton Bucks will take on the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. And this game, it's about as exciting as they come. Last time it came down to a game winner. And for Yankton, they came out on the winning side of that game winner. And, of course, they'd like to maybe not come down to a final drive, TJ. They'd like to just win it. But it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season.
Especially a team like Pierre, who's had a lot of experience on this field this past decade.
The Governors are now in their 9th straight championship game. They won 7 in a row, and that streak came to an end last year as they lost to Watertown. And then for Yankton, lost in the semifinals last year to Pierre. 2 years ago, lost in the championship to Pierre. There's some bad blood between these two teams. They don't necessarily care for each other, and that's why you heard when each team came out onto the field, there was booing from the opposing side. It is loud tonight in here. It is a packed crowd. It's probably more packed than even when USD plays outside of their coveted SDSU game. But right now, the crowds are completely stacked on each side. The Yankton faithful always shows up, and they have certainly shown up here tonight. For the Governors, they had a good 4.5-hour trip, and, well, that didn't stop these fans from making it in time. Big thank you to South Dakota Public Broadcasting for allowing us to cover this game. For complete coverage, updated scores, and photos of the high school football championships, visit sdpb.org/football. All games will be broadcast live on television on SDPB1 TV. For updated content, check out SDPB Sports on social media. As it looks like they are going to maybe do the starting lineups before here the national anthem. They did make a mention that it's the cheerleaders they're announcing. We'll just kind of see how they play it here on the field. Coming up, we've got our Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermilion starting lineups. We will wait, but Yankton technically the home team in this matchup, so we'll start with their defense and then the starting offense for Pierre when we get for that. Again on the field, Pierre in white jerseys trimmed out in green, gray pants, and green helmets. For the Bucks, they are in their red jerseys, red helmets, and then all of those trimmed out in white. TJ, that crowd of Yankton is loud tonight. How do you think that impacts a game if you're opposing that crowd?
Well, Yankton did travel very well, and they've got a lot of noise in here tonight. And this dome gets very loud very quickly as soon as the crowd starts up. And we just heard them get very excited as they start to announce the Yankton cheerleaders.
And I will say, glad to have a headset on as just a little coverage. It's high school football, but it feels like NFL atmosphere in here with how loud it's getting and how crowded it is as they continue to announce the cheerleaders. They've now got to the home team, the Yankton Bucks, who clinched up the #1 seed in all of 11 AA. Up to this point, they've won 9 games, only lost 2. Those losses coming against Sturgis Brown, who they ended up beating last week in the semifinals, and then they lost to a AAA opponent against the Harrisburg Tigers, who are just a very good team in AAA. For the Governors, they were the 3 seed and finished the season up to this point, 8 wins and 3 losses on the season. One of those losses coming against Yankton earlier in the year during homecoming. Now on the field, they're going to do the starting lineup, so we'll do it as well. Your starting lineups are brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermilion. For all your heating and cooling needs, it's Larry's Heating and Cooling anytime, any day. We'll start with the starting offense for the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. We'll start with the big guys up front. The offensive line made up of senior number 69, Colton Cass, junior number 55, Max Schmitz, junior number 58, Bryson Wallman, number 61, the senior, Max Bogenhagen, and the junior, number 52, Spencer Olivier. To the skill positions of this Governor's offense at wide receivers, senior number 13, Lincoln Dilgis. Wide receiver number 7, the junior, Carter Shufflebine. And junior number 15, Hudson Stozier. At tight end, a very talented junior, number 12, it's Cooper Terwilliger. And at halfback for the Governors is number 14, sophomore, Porter Hunsley. Leading this offense, we said it's a new face under center for the Governors. It's number 1, a sophomore, Jaron Deal, who has his team clicking at just the right time. And Pierre's going to be happy to have him for the coming next 2 years as well. Now time for your starting defense of the home team, the Yankton Bucks, who come in with the #1 seed. Into the secondary, we start with the free safety. It's number 14, Cale Hazelhorst. The cornerback duo made up of number 15, Miles Drotzman, and number 1, Carter Boomsma. 2 inside linebackers for the Bucks are number 5, Madden McQuaid, and number 3, Easton Feeser. The strong safety for this Bucks offense, number 16, is Tegan LaCroix. The defensive ends for the Bucks defense, number 9, it's Talon Kenny, and number 11, Edley Amaro Jr. At nose tackle, number 64, Drace Gaskins. The defensive tackle for the Bucks defense, number 94, William Guzman-Ugofsky. And the rover defender for Yankton, number 25, it's Brennan Gilmore. The team captains for the Bucks are Tate Bestie, Owen Eidsness, Peyton Eustace, Cale Hazelhorst, and Easton Feeser. We should be in for a great one here tonight. If you're tuned in on Classic Hits 106.3, if you'd like to watch this game live, tune in to Yankton streaming on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. Otherwise, you can also find it on kvht.com. As we try to make it as easy as possible, we've also shared the link on our Facebook page, Classic Hits 106.3. We should be in for a great one here tonight. It's the final game of the season. TJ, again, you got to play in one. Your junior year, you were a part of the atmosphere. You were part of the game itself. What stood out about the championship game apart from the rest of the other games?
Well, you knew that this is what you had worked for all season long, and really it started clear last season. Right when the season ended, you were putting forth everything you had for the chance to come to this dome here in Vermilion and work towards a championship. So the adrenaline, the excitement, the rush of it right now as these guys run through their tunnel of teammates, they're very excited, very pumped up, and they just want this game to get going already.
So as you mentioned, lots of excitement. Sometimes that can actually cause issues where you're making mistakes that you're not used to. How do you try and reel that in as a team?
Well, as we watch them go through their pregame, they tried to do everything exactly as they've done it all season long. And when you stick to your routine of what you've done all year long, sometimes you can keep those jitters to a minimum. But it's the state championship game. You never know.
Coach Muth did say, teams, they're going to put it all on the line. They'll take more chances. You don't have anything to lose because this is your final game of the season. But the regular for these teams, Yankton runs that quick up-tempo offense, not giving the defense hardly any time to get set. On the flip side, Pierre, they thrive off of big plays. And if Yankton can nullify those big plays, they'll have a great chance here to win this one. The starting lineups were brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermilion, and our Bucks and Gazelles coverage all season long will be brought to you by our corporate sponsor, First Dakota National Bank of Yankton. Now, I do want to mention for the Bucks, they've got a few all-conference players, including their quarterback, senior Tate Bestie, senior wide receiver Owen Eidsness, a junior offensive lineman, Austin Conway, then to the defensive side, senior D-back, Cale Hazelhorst, and senior defensive lineman, Edley Amaro Jr. On top of that, the special teams play, Liam Villanueva as a senior was named an all-conference player. For Pierre on offense, Carter Shufflebine as a junior wide receiver received all-conference, as well as Tucker Ott, a senior offensive lineman. To the defense for Pierre, Aiden Beam, a senior defensive back all-conference, and that will be for Pierce as it's time now for your national anthem. Again, it might be quiet for just a moment while they present the colors, but we are here, and we will respect and honor America and leave it here on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
This evening, our national anthem will be sung by Jocelyn Lee from Freeman High School under the direction of Ivona Luder. Following the national anthem, please remain standing until the colors have been retired. Football fans, our national anthem.
See
Again, your national anthem here, as it was Allison Lee from Freeman doing a wonderful job on the national anthem here before game time tonight. And again, thank you for your patience. If you're on Classic Hits 106.3, just that silence in honor of them, showing the colors, bringing them out to the field and then taking them off, as it is nearly game time here in Vermilion at the Coyotes Dakota Dome. As you see the big South Dakota logo at midfield, excuse me. Coming up, we have our coin toss and then, of course, kickoff and game time. We were supposed to get started at 7, but, well, these things never seem to get rolling quite on time because you've got a lot of pomp and circumstance that needs to get done beforehand. As now the Yankton Bucks and Pierre Governors captains will meet out on the South Dakota logo at midfield. The crowd's getting into it here as a state title on the line. Pierre is looking for their 8th title in 9 years. Yankton is looking for their first since 2015 when they won back-to-back in 14 and 15. Pierre will get the call on the coin toss as the visitors, as we do have a military drop-in near the 23-yard line on the far side of the field. Didn't see him until he was about all the way down to the field. A big thank you to all of those who have served, who are currently serving, or family members of those who have served, as we just had Veterans Day not that long ago. We can't thank you enough for what you have done for our country. The captains all out meeting for the coin toss. We'll see if we'll have Yankton's offense or defense out onto the field first. You can hear the crowd cheering even just for the coin toss. Is now entering your screen on Yankton streaming is the military members who dropped in here at the Dakota Dome. Yankton has won the toss. We'll see if they elect to receive or to defer. Well, I thought he had said Yankton won the toss. They hadn't done it yet. So Pierre has won the toss. We'll wait for the call to hunt, seeing the signals. It looks like Pierre has elected to receive the first half kickoff. And TJ, we don't see that too often. Usually we see the team that wins that coin toss almost always has deferred the season. But what that tells me about Pierre, they want to come out and they want to put up points and they want to take this game immediately and lead throughout the whole way.
You know, we've seen that happen just a couple of times this year where the winning team elects to receive the ball and get after it right away in that first half. And I think that's exactly what Pierre's looking to do today, is to come out and make a statement right out of the gates.
And for the Bucks, they're looking for a statement of their own as they're trying to get past that hump. That hump for them the last few years has been Pierre. Last year losing in the state semifinals to them. The year before that losing in the state championship. And 3 years ago losing to Pierre in the state semifinals. Really, so these seniors on this Bucks team have grown up watching it. Their freshman season, it's always been this same team. You know there's a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Now, Coach Muth always loves to say, we're not out here to get revenge. We're out here to play a good game of football, win every rep. But you know it's somewhat in the back of the minds of some of these players.
And it has to be. They've been watching Pierre come to the Dome how many years in a row? I think it's 8 years in a row. This is the 9th. And so Yankton, this group of seniors, I think they're looking to end the streak.
And for Pierre, again, they won 7 in a row, then made their 8th straight last year. They did lose to Watertown, and now have made it to their 9th straight championship appearance. Back to return this one for the Governors is number 7, Carter Shufflebein. Shufflebein, just an all-around athlete. As we load up our Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard on Yankton streaming, Liam Villanueva out on the field here to kick this one away for the Bucks. We are moments away from kickoff, and here it is. Liam Villanueva has this game started. Shufflebein scoots his way up to the 9-yard line where he receives it up to the 25. Some blocking up the middle, a nice return up to the 36-yard line. And Pierre's going to have nice starting field position all the way up to the 36.
not the coverage Yankton was looking for on that opening kickoff. They would really have liked to pin them behind at least the 25, but here Pierre's starting on the 36, and so far their strategy of taking the ball to start the game is a good one.
1st and 10 here for the Governors. Again, they start from their own 36-yard line. Behind center will be Jaron Deal, the sophomore quarterback who took over midway through the season. As late into the mix here for the Governors is William Eilers. Out of the shotgun, empty backfield here for Jaron Deal, the first play on offense for either side. Takes the snap, looks to throw it right out of the gates. Edley Amaro Jr. gets the pressure, pulls him in with a sack. What a start for this Bucs defense. Edley Amaro, just a stud for the Bucs.
Edley Amaro came out on that play ready to make a statement, and sure did. Pierre was ready to make their own statement, but he broke through everybody and got the sack.
As you watch that replay, it's brought to you by Yankton Wynn Nelson, second generation, family owned and supporting the local community, including Yankton Athletics since 1981. What a big boom play for the Bucs to get started. Edley Amaro Jr., I got a chance to chat with him. We'll hear that chat during halftime. And really, just a great start to this football game. 2nd and 17 here for the Governors. Jaron Deal looks to run it himself, and up across the 40-yard line to the 42. A pickup of nearly 12 yards. 13, I believe, for Jaron Deal, and that's going to make a 3rd and manageable, TJ.
And we were looking at it before the game, just how good he is at running the ball. He's got a very high yards per run average.
As you just said, he's 9.5 yards per carry, picks up 13 on that one. 3rd and 4 here now as we're about a minute and a half into this one. No score yet on our Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard. Has it back along with him, but Jaron Deal's going to run this one himself up to the 45. Breaks the tackle across midfield, gets the first down.
Yankton had several opportunities there to tackle him, but they didn't wrap up. They didn't hit low. They just let him keep churning on.
10-yard pickup there for Jaron Deal, who has 2 carries for 23 yards now. And as you mentioned, feels like Yankton had the ideal start to this game. You got to capitalize when you start out with a sack against a good football team like the Governors. So a fresh set of downs here into Yankton territory. The Governors move the football at the 47-yard line. Again, Deal with an empty backfield. Now facing pressure up the middle from Talon Kenny. Gets the pass off. It's caught by Cooper Terwilliger. And what was nearly a sack is a 4-yard completion to Cooper Terwilliger. And right now, Jaron Deal is looking incredible at quarterback, avoiding pressure and just getting some yards rather than losing 6+. 2nd and 6 now for the Governors as Terwilliger was shoved out of bounds. That will stop the clock. 10:20 here to play in the first quarter yet. Scoreless as we're on our first drive. The first handoff here behind the line of scrimmage. Easton Feaser comes up with a big stop. Porter Hunsley was going nowhere. A loss of 1 for the running back in a 3rd and 7 situation coming up here. Easton Feaser shot through the line and made sure that play went nowhere. Another 3rd down situation. The Governors kind of in no man's land. We'll see how they play this. Again, an empty backfield here as breaking through is that defensive line of Yankton. A last-second throw. It's knocked down, broken up, and an incomplete pass. 4th down on the way as it looks like Cale Hazelhorst and Easton Feaser in the area.
And they did a great job of swarming that. That was the only pass he had left to make, and Yankton did a good job getting to the ball and knocking it down.
4th and 7 here, so Pierre will now be forced to punt this one away. Quarterback Jaron Deal, also their punter, so you never know if they want to run a fake. You've always got to be on your toes. It's a championship game. You got to try what you got to try. It's Owen Eidsness set up at his own 10-yard line to return the punt. Way back is Deal here, takes the snap. It's a good one, and the punt goes high up into the air. Owen Eidsness is just going to let this one go inside the Yankton 5. And did Pierce stop it? It looks like they did. Yankton's going to be starting around their own 2-yard line.
That's a hard decision for Owen Eidsness there. He could have taken the fair catch, but he was only at about the 14-yard line, I think, and he was hoping that would bounce all the way end zone. It didn't quite get there.
And Yankton, they're going to push this one all the way back to the 1-yard line. And this is the exact opposite of where you want to start with the football here on offense. Yankton for their first set here. Jay Sidlacek along with Tate Bestie, as it has been all season long. Edley Amaro is in as the H-back. Don't be surprised if they follow his blocks on 1st and 10 here from their own 1-yard line. From the shotgun, they hand it off. Up the middle, Sidlacek picks up a couple just for some breathing room. Gets about 2 yards, and they did, of course, follow Edley Amaro on his block. They'll give him credit for 2 yards. Jay Sidlacek, his first carry of the night. Yankton now at the 3, certainly not out of their own territory. Deep in it. Bestie looks to throw this one. He started from the shotgun. Into the hands. It's caught up to the 10-yard line, and it's fumbled. Abe O'Brien fumbles it. Pierre's got the football, and an early mistake here as Abe O'Brien had a 9-yard pickup but loses it. Pierre is going to take over at Yankton's. We'll see, looks like at the 12-yard line, and TJ, that's the exact opposite of a start that Yankton was hoping to get here to start this one.
Absolutely not. Yankton needed to be able to bust out of their own end zone and gain a little momentum headed back the other direction.
1st and 10 here now for Pierre. They're at about the 12.5-yard line. Scoreless 3 minutes in, but Pierre now in great position to put up the first points on the board. Jaron Deal takes the snap, fakes the handoff, play action, rolls, fires it towards the end zone. It's caught, not quite at the first down marker, as it's pulled in again by Cooper Terwilliger, a 9-yard pickup in a short 2nd and 1. Realistically, Pierre has a good chunk of plays to get 4 yards here now. Cooper Terwilliger, both catches for his team. They went for 13 yards. 2nd and 1 on the Yankton 4-yard line as Jaron Deal out of the shotgun takes the snap. He'll hand it off as Porter Hunsley drives it in and gets the first touchdown of the night. Pierre gets the early lead. It's 6-0 favoring the Governors. And this Governors crowd is getting excited as their team is on top, 6-0 on your Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard. The Fox Stop at the corner of West City Limits Road and 30th Street, Yankton, a full-service convenience store with hot food, Godfather's Pizza, personal pizzas, sandwiches, munchies, and beverages. Pay at the pump, gas and diesel fuel, firewood, and propane exchange. On for the extra point here is Carter Templeton to make it a 7-point game. He boots it right through, and that's exactly what he does. 8:20 to play here in the first quarter of action. We'll take a break and be back for kickoff here on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Weather around here gets pretty crazy. Are you sure the weather hasn't caused damage to your roof? Let Justice at H&H Roofing in Yankton take any roof damage worries away. He'll come and inspect your roof. Even if you've had an inspection, get a second opinion or re-inspection for your peace of mind. H&H Roofing has built their reputation on working to satisfy homeowners for years. Family owned and operated. H&H Roofing is bonded and insured. Contact Justice today.
Do you like to read? I love to read. So does Rabin Books, your unique bookstore in Yankton, where you'll find thousands of books from brand new to gently used oldies but goodies, all at unbeatable prices. Trade in your old favorites for credit and be able to explore something new. Whether you're a casual reader or a bookworm, Rabin Books is your next chapter, located at 804 Bill Baggs Road. Rabin Books, where every book finds a home.
As we return to the field, it's 7-0 with the Governors on top of the Yankton Bucks. We saw a similar start, not a great start for Yankton in the semifinals, as the first play from their opponent, Sturgis Brown, was a 70-yard touchdown. We'll see if the Bucks can bounce back and get some points and tie this one back up. As back to return this is Tegan LaCroix and Owen Eisnes. Eisnes will pick it up at the 12-yard line, hands it off, a reverse to Tegan LaCroix. He's got room to run across the 40, follows his lead block into midfield. He's going to bring this one all the way. Touchdown Yankton. Tegan LaCroix brings it in. And TJ, we were just saying, do you think they can score and get back in this one? There's your answer. Talk about a play and a decision for the reverse on the kickoff.
And they don't run that reverse very often, but here they made that work, and you got to hand it to Ivan Hirschman, who got out in front, got that last final block, took the kicker out so that we could go all the way for a touchdown. And just like that, you hear the momentum and the atmosphere change from one side to the other. And this is going to be a battle today. We could see it go back and forth all night long.
Kevin Ortiz now on the field to tie it up at 7-6. Bucks off a kick return touchdown. Got right back into this one. Ortiz, the lefty kicker, puts it through, and we are tied. No! Looked like it went through, TJ, but it didn't. From here, it looked about as good of a kick as you could ask for. But he's going to miss it, and the Bucks are down 1. 7-6 your score, 8:07 to play in the first quarter. As we'll take another quick break, a 30-second break, and when we return, again, a kickoff, this time Pierre to return.
If you're into hunting, fishing, towing, or just want to blaze the trail, All Seasons has ATVs, UTVs, dirt bikes, and scooters from quality brands like Honda, Yamaha, and CF Moto. Needing watercraft? All Seasons has a large selection of quality boats and wave runners, and we take pride in service after the sale. We have friendly certified technicians that will winterize, summarize, diagnose, and repair your power sports equipment. In business for over 20 years for good reasons. We're All Seasons, Power Sports and Marine in Yankton.
Talk about an answer for the Yankton Bucks. After a fumble, they give up a short field touchdown to the Governors. Probably are feeling, a little down about we couldn't have started out, honestly, much worse. And you hate to say it, but it just felt like it sucked the energy from them. Well, a kick return touchdown certainly put some energy back into Yankton, and we've got a 1-point game here, TJ. And last time it was a game winner in the final drive for Yankton. We might have another game-winning drive if it keeps up here. We're not even a full 4 minutes into this one. Liam Villanueva to boot this one away for Yankton. Again to return is going to be Carter Shufflebine, as this one kicked hard and inside the Governor's 5-yard line is where Shufflebine will start this return. This time he doesn't have much of a return. Gets up to the 22-yard line before he is stuffed by a duo of Bucks defenders.
I think it was number 86, William Rounds, who led the way there and leveled a nice hit to limit that return to the 22-yard line.
For the Governors, they'll have 1st and 10. Not quite the same starting field positions last time from their own 22. Again, an empty backfield here for Deal. Edley Amaro has this one bolted deep. This one caught across the 40. One man to beat into the hands of Carter Shufflebine. A touchdown for Pierre. What a throw from Jaron Deal. A 78-yard touchdown. That throw could not have been more on the money.
It was perfect. He hit him perfectly in stride, and he was just too fast. LaCroix couldn't keep up. Pierre has the long touchdown.
So 3 touchdowns, and we are 4 minutes and 8 seconds into this one. It is 13-6. The Governors currently on top of the Bucks as they bring this one in from 78 yards out. One play is all they needed to score, and this sophomore quarterback in Jaron Deal is looking like the real deal. On for the extra point is Carter Templeton. Deal the holder here as the kick is up. I'm going to wait till the official signals. This one is good. Makes it 14-6. The Governors right back on top. And TJ, you just get the kick return touchdown. Momentum shifted a little. You have a nice special teams play to not give up really any yards there hardly on that return. And you give up a 78-yarder. How do you try and bounce back from something like that?
Well, you got to come back and look for another good return. You can't expect another return for a touchdown, but you at least have to give yourself good field position to start this next drive and then put together a good offensive drive.
Tegan LaCroix and Owen Ides, it's definitely a dangerous returnman for the Bucks as they'll return this kick. Again, it's already 14-6, and we're about 4 minutes in. This is almost identical to how the Sturgis Brown game started. Only Yankton led after the 3rd touchdown. In that one, Sturgis Brown got a 70-yard touchdown on their first play. Then Yankton scored right back and then got a pick six. This time it's a little different. Pierre on top, 14-6. Carter Templeton now to kick it away again. He's been active early on in this one. Already a couple of extra points and a couple of kickoffs for the Bucks. They don't need it immediately. It's still a one-possession game. You'd like to see them get their offense rolling and just kind of what they're used to doing all season long. You wonder if they've got more trickery up their sleeves after just pulling one off last kick return. And on kickoffs, we've actually got number 2, which is Jacoby LaRoche. As it's going to be an onside kick. Pierre has an opportunity at it, and I think they've recovered it. Pierre has recovered, and they have all the momentum in the world right now, TJ. Defense for the Bucks needs to come up with a big stop here.
They're going to have to. That was just a perfect onside kick. It was just over the top of outstretched hands for Yankton. He just tipped it. Pierre was able to get by him and recover the football.
And the Governors will have the football at Yankton's 41-yard line. Again, less than half the field to go here. But right now, their offense has been running and operating very smooth. 1st and 10 for Pierre, as Jacob Bivens was the closest Buck to that. And an onside kick that Yankton was not expecting. Jaron Deal now from the shotgun works it. Flips the ball in his hands a few times. Wide open again as Carter Shufflebind makes the catch. And he's tackled forward to the 21-yard line. A pickup of about 20 yards. And Pierre is already in the red zone, looking to score again as Shufflebind 98 yards in the game and a touchdown.
And he was wide open over here in the flat. Yankton defense has got to know where he is at all times.
There are a couple players for Pierre that you've just got to know. Carter Shufflebind and Cooper Terwilliger. And right now, it's certainly seeming like you've got to know what Jaron Deal is doing. 1st and 10 again now from the 21 of the Bucks. He'll hand it off on a pitch. Out towards the 15. Driving forward is Porter Hunsley. A nice pickup of 8 yards on his first carry on this drive. That's his 3rd of the game, 1st of the drive. He's got 11 yards and a touchdown. Makes it a 2nd and a long 3, a short 4. Ball is spotted around the 15-yard line. So ran out of bounds a little before I had thought. So 9 yards off of 3 carries and a touchdown. 2nd and a short 4, long 3 as Deal's going to keep it on the near side of the field. Follows his blockers around the edge up to the 9-yard line, brought down. And it's 1st and goal for Pierre.
Tegan LaCroix came up and made the stop there. And for the first play in a few plays, Yankton actually hit kind of hard. This defense needs to come out. They're on their heels right now. They got to find a little spunk behind them. They got to look at a fire and come up and hit some people.
And as I mentioned earlier, Pierre, a big play team. Once they get that big play, it just opens the field wide up for them. And it seems that 78-yard touchdown on the last possession did just that. 1st and goal from the 9, out of the shotgun is Deal. Porter Hunsley, another rushing attempt, has some room to run, gets in. Touchdown, Pierre. They've got their 3rd score of the first quarter. It's 20-6. Right now, Pierre is just running all over Yankton. It's 20-6, a 2-possession game early on. They're not even using many plays. Now for the extra point to make it 21-6. This one is up and good, and Pierre leads 21-6. Yankton needs to get something rolling here as we return on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
From simple sniffles to complex health conditions, the primary care providers at Yankton Medical Clinic will not only see you for your annual visits, screenings, and preventative care, but also provides care for the entire family, from pediatrics to adults. With 4 clinic locations and 15 outreach locations throughout South Dakota and Nebraska, compassionate, quality medical care is closer than you think. For more information on providers, services, and locations, visit our website, yanktonmedicalclinic.com.
Back to the field as it's 21-6. Pierre currently leads Yankton as the Bucks have fallen behind by 15 points early in this one. 6:42 to play, only in the first quarter of play. I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stotz on color. Tristan Nelson helping out on camera and operating the stream. And right now, TJ, I know it's early in the game, but Pierre is a team that thrives when they are on top in the lead. And right now, this feels like a must-have drive for the Bucks to come away with points.
It absolutely is. And when we were talking early on before the game, we were talking about game jitters for the championship. And I think that's what we're seeing out of the Bucks right now. Right now, they need to calm down. They need to get a little something going their way and pick back up.
For Pierre, it has been the story of big plays, as they had a 78-yard touchdown, a fumble recovered in Yankton's red zone, and then an onside kick that has went their way. On top of that, their offense is just getting positive yardage on every single play. They had 2 plays so far out of their 12 that went for no gain or less. The Bucks now probably a little more prepared as they are set up in case of another onside kick. Be shocked to see Pierre run it again, but we will see. Back deep for the Bucks on the return is Owen Eidsness and Tegan LaCroix. And I know it might feel or sound a little silly to say that it's a must-have drive for the Bucks this early in the game. But you're down 2 possessions to a team that seemingly every year just gets better and better each game and somehow pulls off the championship. I mean, this is a regular for them almost a decade straight as we get a squib kick. This one bobbled by Yankton and just fell on at the 26-yard line. And you know what? Yankton will take it. 1st and 10, and they've got the ball not deep in their own end zone.
It was a good decision to just fall on that ball and take the possession. Make sure you get set up to now bring your offense on the field. We said it once, but we're going to say it again. Right now the Bucks need to put together a good drive.
6:39 to play here in our first quarter of action. 1st and 10, a strong set as they've got an H-back on each side of the line. It's Jay Sedlacek along with Bestie. He gets his name called up the middle, drives it past the 30-yard line, and looks like he got all the way up to about the 33. A nice pickup of 6 on the first carry, and even just getting a few first downs, give your defense a rest so they can hopefully start slowing down this Pierre offense. A nice pickup of about 6 here on first down, and some misdirection as Jason Lachek drives it in. He's got a first down. Up to the 38-yard line. Another pickup of 6 for Jason Lachek. Yankton moves the chains and has a first down here. A receiver on each side of the line is Bestie, fires it to Sedlacek, makes the catch, tries to set the edge, falls forward, gets up to about the 43-yard line. Again, though, another nice pickup as they'll credit him with 4.5 yards on the reception.
And we'd expect nothing less from Jason Sedlacek than to put everything he's got into every single play. And so far, starting out this drive, that's exactly what he's doing.
5:35 to play in the first quarter. It is 2nd and a long 5, short 6. Bestie looks to throw it again, has all day in the pocket, now decides to bring it out. Lots of grass in front of him, but fires across his body. Owen Eidsness pulls it in for the catch. Out of bounds he goes.
And they're going to mark that as an incomplete pass.
They are. You wonder if maybe one of those feet didn't get down. I certainly thought he had control, but if his feet don't get down, and Eidsness right now, you can see on the field, he's asking, how is that not a catch? But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what he thinks. So we're going to have a 3rd down here for the Bucks, as now the Pierre side getting very loud. 5.5 yards is what they need for the first down. Out of the shotgun is Tate Bestie. 2 receivers to the right, Abe O'Brien to the left. He goes to the far side. It's caught across the 50 into the hands of Cale Hazelhorst. An 8-yard pickup for the Bucks, and that one was a big 3rd down. If you get stopped there, TJ, and give it back to Pierre's offense, they've got all the momentum. Now you can keep the chains moving and try to score this. Jason Lachek goes back up the middle, drives the pile forward to the 45-yard line and gets a nice 3 on first down.
And watching Tate Bestie go to work there, that's what we need to see. Is we need to see Bestie throwing to his receiving core, looking like they're having fun. They just need to have a little fun out there and pick up a few first downs.
2nd and 7 for this Bucks offense. They've moved it now into Pierre territory. The pitch outside. It's Sedlacek, follows his lead, blocks, gets around to the edge, up to the first down line, and he'll get a nice pickup of 8.
Excellent run by Sedlacek. He barreled his way through to get a first down, but I would point out Edley Amaro had a great block to spring that run.
I do want to say, when I talked with Edley, one thing he did say is blocking for Jay Sedlacek. As now on 1st and 10, Bestie to the outside. It's caught across the 30. Abe O'Brien puts down a shoulder, fights the contact, and he'll pick up 9. Abe O'Brien, his second catch, both who went for 9 yards. The first one is a lost fumble. This time will bring up a 2nd and short, 1 yard needed for the first down. Yankton is now within the Pierre 30-yard line, moving well on offense. Trips to the left of the line. Abe O'Brien, the lone receiver, to the right, as Bestie waits to fire it, just throws it out of bounds, incomplete. And you've got a 2nd and 1. I like the throwaway there. You know, you need 1 yard for the first down, and if you just can't get it on 3rd, you're in a position where you're probably not going to kick a field goal. You've probably got 2 plays to get 1 yard here. Four and a half minutes to go in the first quarter. It's 21-6, Pierre on top of Yankton. In the backfield is Easton Fieser. He gets rolled out before the snap. Tate Bestie across the middle, finds Owen Eidsness in stride, touchdown Yankton. A 28-yard throw, Tate Bestie to who else besides his number 1 receiver, Owen Eidsness, and Yankton makes this a 1-possession game.
And there was no doubt who he was going to on that play. His eyes were locked on Eidsness the entire time.
Right now, Tate Bestie 5 for 6 throwing the football and gets his first touchdown on the board. It's 21-12, and Yankton is going to go for 2 instead of the guaranteed 1-possession game, but you miss an extra point. You feel, well, okay, let's go for 2. A late sub out on the far side is Talon Kenny, as both Owen Eidsness and Tegan LaCroix are in the backfield with Tate Bestie from the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. No, a wraparound for Tegan LaCroix. He's going to try to run it in himself. He will! Tegan LaCroix brings it in for 2. It's 21-14, a 7-point game. Talk about a play design there, TJ.
That was an excellently designed play. No one expected Tegan LaCroix to roll out and pass. He hadn't passed much this year, if at all. And he had Eidsness there, but Eidsness just lured everybody away, and LaCroix was able to pick up the 2 points.
And when you have a receiver that is that dangerous, that is frequently, he brings the defense with him. Tegan LaCroix brings it in. We're back to a 1-possession game, and we'll take a break after already our 5th touchdown of the night. 21-14, Yankton trails.
As we continually strive to improve the quality of service we provide the Yankton community, the Garden of Memories Cemetery and Winston Ray Funeral Home are pleased to announce the completion of a brand new columbarium. This columbarium is constructed of granite, designed to withstand the test of time. It is for those families choosing cremation and features above-ground outdoor niches, which includes a bronze plaque to memorialize your loved one, as well as indoor glass front niches where families can create a unique memorial with pictures or other family heirlooms. For more information, please give us a call at the Winston Ray Funeral Home in Yankton.
Back to the field, your Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard reads 21-14, favoring Pierre, but Yankton off of a 74-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 28-yard touchdown pass from Bestie to the hands of Owen Eidsness. 4:21 to play in our first quarter of action here. Liam Villanueva back on the field yet again. From the 40-yard line, boots this one away as Shufflebein picks it up again within his own 5, has some blocking across the 30, breaks the tackle. Now a flag flies, but one man to beat. He can't get around. He stays on his feet. He's going to bring this one into the end zone. A touchdown for Pierre, and I'm pretty sure, TJ, that penalty's on Yankton, a horse collar.
Yankton special teams that has done such a good job all season long. On that particular play, nobody hit, nobody wrapped up, and nobody made sure to stop him.
And this one is going to stand. Again, I'm pretty sure this one is a horse collar on Yankton special teams. TJ, if we keep up at this pace, the final score might be 100-98.
That's not what I would have been expecting tonight. I thought we were going to see a little bit more of a defensive struggle, but both of these teams are coming out tonight ready to play and ready to win.
And you said it right there. In my pregame, I said don't be surprised if neither team touches the 30-point mark in the first quarter. Pierre's at 27, as here's your call. It was a face mask, not a horse collar. You just kind of saw that awkward shift around that usually happens with either a horse collar or a face mask. And, of course, that will keep the touchdown on the board for Pierre as it's against Yankton, and they'll enforce it on the kickoff. That's the first penalty here of the night for 15 yards. Pierre leads 27-14. Another extra point attempt here for Templeton of the Governors, who are now up 2 scores again. It is a 13-point game. Templeton can make it 14. Snap and hold is good, and so is the kick. 28-14, 4:06 to play in the first quarter. Pierre has doubled up Yankton so far. On Classic, it's 106.3, and Yankton streaming on YouTube. You're watching and listening live to Yankton Bucks football.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Back out onto the field, and well, we were just talking about how that last drive for Yankton was a must-have drive, and if Pierre keeps scoring like this, Yankton's going to have to keep scoring just to keep pace and keep it within reach. Right now, 2 touchdowns, TJ, is the difference. It's probably not going to be great starting field position for the Bucks. As you see, the kickoff is going to be from the Bucks' 45-yard line after that face mask penalty.
And with what they've been doing with kickoffs the last 2 times, a squib kick and an onside before that, it'll be interesting to see what Pierre chooses to decide to do here.
And for the Governors, really have played well in this one. You can tell they've been to 9 straight championships. It doesn't faze them. It's just another season of excellence is what it's been. And for the Bucks, they're trying to put an end to that and put together their season of excellence and get back to their state championship ways after a decade drought. This one booted up the middle. It's going to drop around the 10 and go through the end zone, a touchback. As no return for Yankton, they'll start from their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. And TJ, Yankton's a team that comes out and plays fast, but right now with how their special teams and defense is struggling to keep up, do you try and just a long drive to keep them off the field?
I think that would be good to give the defense a break, but I don't think Yankton changes their offensive tempo too much, because when they do slow down, sometimes they'll struggle.
On the near side, 2 receivers, 1 to the far as Jason Lachek breaks the first tackle, drives it home to the 25-yard line, a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Jace was met at the line of scrimmage on that one. And I want to point out Jason Lachek. He's really hit another gear late in the season. 3 straight games of 171 rushing yards or more, and now he's looking to do the same in the championship. He gets it again up the middle. This time some room across up to the 40-yard line, picks up 15, and Yankton moves the chains. Jason Lachek with his longest carry of the night. About 45 yards off of 7 carries. He has been a bright spot for this Yankton offense throughout the postseason. Into motion moves Eidsness. They'll once again back to Jason Lachek. Stays on his feet, stumbles up to the 45. He'll pick up another 5. And if you can get 5 on first down, why change it?
2nd and 5 is a much better position to be in than 2nd and 10. It gives you a lot more options. Now Bestie's going to have a lot that he can do.
No other Buck has ran the football once in this game, and it'll stay that way as Sedlacek reverses it to the outside of the line, trucks his defender up to the Pierre 45, a pickup of 15. We just said how that was his longest carry of the night. He does it again, and he is running extremely well, pacing for over 200 yards in this one. Under 3 minutes to play, Yankton is moving the football well on offense. They trail 28-14. Tate Bestie from the shotgun fires it quick to the side. Cale Hazelhorse pulls it in at the 40, runs out of bounds. He'll pick up half the distance needed for the first down. Again, a 5-yard pickup on first down.
And this drive is exactly what their Yankton defense needed. Just a little bit of time to catch a breather, but a lot of momentum for this offense heading the other direction.
Now 2:40 to play in the first quarter of action. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tate Bestie takes the snap. Again to the near side, catching it near the ground at the 32 is Owen Eidsness, as they'll pick up 8, and another 1st and 10 coming up for the Bucs offense, who now seems to be clicking much better. And you wonder, as you said, maybe those were just pregame jitters, and now they're moving. A strong formation set up for the Bucs. It's Easton Feaser as the back. He'll get it up the middle, follows Edley Amaro, dives forward. He'll get 1. So Easton Feaser on the 10th rushing attempt for the Bucs on the night. It's the first not from Jay Sedlacek. 2nd and 9. As that 2-point conversion run for Tegan LaCroix does not technically count as a rushing attempt for the Bucs. We've hit the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter, and we've seen lots of action so far. Tate Bestie, a couple of receivers to the right. Again, wants to go deep on the near side. Owen Eidsness, he was getting grabbed, and this one's going to be a pass interference. The Pierre fan's not happy with this, but he went up to try and grab it with one arm because his other was getting pulled back on his shoulder, it looked like. And they show it on the big screen. Pierre might not be too happy, but TJ, that one's a little hard to argue.
That one was hard to argue at the end there. Definitely pass interference on the defense. Well, these two are going at each other. They are neck and neck on every single route, and they're close. They're battling tonight.
And it will be pass interference, a 15-yard penalty. You can hear the boos from the Pierre fans who do not agree with the call. That will give Yankton an automatic first down. For the Bucs, another opportunity to score. Feaser stays in as the back behind Tate Bestie. Feaser again up the middle, takes it. He'll pick up just a couple, 2nd and long on the way. As Easton Feaser has not had quite the success that Sedlacek has had running the football, gets 1 again on his 2nd attempt for 2 yards. 2nd and 9 from the 14. Sedlacek back into the football game. Trips right here on the line as Tate Bestie on the option, flips it out. Sedlacek across the 10, deep into Pierre territory it goes. It'll be 3rd and 2 after a pickup of 7 yards for Jay Sedlacek. Yankton has moved the football well. 3rd and 2 from Pierre's 8-yard line. Yankton with it, they'll hand it off up the middle again. Sedlacek looked like he maybe had enough room to bring it into the end zone. He gets the first down, 1st and goal.
And Sedlacek followed Edley Amaro right through the line there, and Morrow did a great job of leading him through. It almost looked like Sedlacek tripped at the end.
1st and goal for the Bucs from the Pierre 3-yard line. Tate Bestie takes the snap up to Jay Sedlacek. Touchdown, Yankton! Sedlacek gets a touchdown here from 3 yards out. Again, we'll watch the Yankton-Winnelson replay on Yankton streaming on YouTube. On for the extra try here is Kevin Ortiz, who missed his first attempt. He can make this a 7-point game, and if he makes it, 49 points scored so far in our first quarter of action. What a game so far. LaCroix as the holder as Kevin Ortiz puts this one through. It is 28-21 on our Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard. The Bucs have brought it back within 7. Now they need to get a stop. We'll take a short break. When we return, it's kickoff on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Welcome to JR's Oasis, your one-stop food and gas shop. Proud to serve Phillips 66 regular, premium, and diesel fuel. After fueling, go inside for slushies and shakes, ice cream cones, and now offering a full line of healthy, chilled items and snacks. JR's hot menu is great for breakfast, lunch, and supper, featuring the famous Hammer Breakfast Sandwich and fresh hand-patty burgers. Try the new Cafe Tango frozen coffees for that extra boost of deliciousness. JR's Oasis, East Highway 50, Yankton.
Back to the field we go, 28-21 at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. The Yankton Bucks trailing the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. TJ, we're about an hour in from when kickoff was originally slated. It's 7:52 already. We're still in the first quarter with 41 seconds, but 49 points scored in this game so far.
Well, we've had enough scoring for an entire game usually, and I think this is probably a score that a lot of people would have predicted for the end of this game, but instead we're just coming up on the end of the first quarter.
For Yankton, their defense is going to have to get a stop, and so is their special teams, as Pierre's kick return team, 2 nice returns, one that ended up in a touchdown, and one had them on their own 36. Villanueva, a short kick. They do not want Shufflebine with it, and it's caught at the 20-yard line up ahead, falling forward to the 34-yard line on the return there. Hudson Stozier, and I don't blame him one bit for not letting Carter Shufflebine touch the football.
Absolutely not. Shufflebine's been doing such a fantastic job on return for them today. I'd be surprised if he touches the ball on a return for the rest of the night.
So Pierre will start with the football on their own 35, 1st and 10. We'll see how this goes, as it's just been touchdown after touchdown here tonight to start this one. Now a late shift on the defensive front of Yankton, as the ends will switch sides. They like the matchup better this way. 1st and 10 for the Governors. Jaron Deal will pitch it out, this time to the hands of Porter Hunsley. Hunsley breaks free across into Yankton territory and up to their 43-yard line. Porter Hunsley gets a first down, and another big play for Pierre, as this Yankton defense is going to have to step up. Your offense can only put up 8 points per drive, and right now, Pierre is just going to be happy to send this into our second quarter of action. It's 28-21. The Governors lead, and they've just pushed the ball into the Bucs side of the field at the 42. When we return, it's 1st and 10. Yankton is going to need a stop here. I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stotz. Thanks for tuning in on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family-run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
I knew I should have had those brakes checked at Graham Tire. It's all about safety. Tire mounting, balancing, wheel alignment, and shocks and struts and batteries, oil changes, and lube service. Graham Tire does these every day. And there's over an acre of tires. Graham Tire has them all, big and small. Tires for cars, trucks, campers, trailers, big rigs, and tracks. Honesty and integrity is a matter of pride since 1951. Graham Tire, Yankton.
After our first quarter, it's 28-21 with the Governors leading this one and driving the football. A big thank you to South Dakota Public Broadcasting allowing us to cover this game. For complete coverage, updated scores, and photos of the high school football championships, visit sdpb.org/football. All games will be broadcast live on SDPB1 TV. For updated content, check out SDPB Sports on social media. A quarterback keeper for Jaron Deal, who's hit by a defender and dives up to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 6. And Jaron Deal has not ran the ball for less than 6 yards in this game.
And Yankton defense does seem to be keen on him already. And even with Yankton paying close attention, he's still picking up 6 yards.
Jaron Deal, only a sophomore quarterback for the Governors, didn't even start for the first half of the season. He took over due to injury to their original starting quarterback, and boy, it doesn't look like he wasn't the first option at all. 2nd and 4, they'll hand it off. Porter Hunsley, patient running, gets up to the 31-yard line. Looks like it's enough for a Pierre first down. They'll give him enough for 5, 1st and 10. Porter Hunsley started out the game with a carry that lost a yard. Since then, he's ran the ball very efficiently. 1st and 10 for the Governors now on Yankton's 31-yard line. 11:05 to play in our first half of action. Governors lead by a score here. It's a 7-point difference as a low snap. Deal scoops it up, rolls out to the far side of the field. Looking for anybody, just fires it. It's incomplete. And honestly, that play alone just feels like a nice big pickup for Yankton because they didn't give up any yards.
Well, excellent coverage there by Yankton. There was nobody to throw to. Even Edley Amaro was back in coverage here on this backside. So good job by Yankton defense there.
And if you're really looking to throw off the offensive coordinator on the other side, throw at Edley Amaro Jr. on coverage. Your best pass rusher, but you know what? You get him second guessing, and then your quarterback's, where do I go with this? Jaron Deal got pushed out 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass, his second of the night. He's 4 for 6. Has over 100 yards, though, and a touchdown. Deal takes the snap on the option, decides to keep it himself, runs to a trio of Bucks defenders, gets up to the 29, but 3rd and long, he'll need 8 yards for the first down, and that just feels like back-to-back good plays for this Bucks defense. You've got to build off of it, and you really, right now, you're wondering about that field goal range. Pierre's probably thinking we've got 2 plays to try and get a first down here. 10:22 to play here in our first half of action as Hunsley now out of the game in favor of senior Aiden Beam, who's 6'2", 190. An empty backfield for Jaron Deal. Had an H-back in front of him. He'll get the little pitch. He's brought down at the 34-yard line. They'll lose yards, and Yankton gets the stop. On the
Excellent
catch.
job by Chase Platt there. He was not fooled by that at all.
What a play there as Cooper Terwilliger loses 5 yards on the reception, forces 4th down, and that feels like now Yankton has just an opportunity to try and build some momentum, which really a game that the Governors have led from start to finish. Yankton has yet to lead in this game. And now Jaron Deal looks like they're going to go for it. He is their punter as well. We'll see how they play this. He'll drop back to pass. A 4th down attempt here. That pass too high, falls incomplete. A turnover on downs. The Bucks defense stops Pierre.
That pass just a hair too high. Just sailed it just a little bit. But he probably wouldn't have had enough for a first down where he was sitting there. And the Bucks secondary was swarming right at him.
And that's kind of what you're thinking. An odd decision to go for it on 4th down there. I mean, you're clearly out of field goal range at the 34-yard line at the high school level. Why not try to pin Yankton back? But I guess, why question what they've been doing when they make it to 9 straight titles? Edley Amaro shifts onto the near side of the line. Play action for Bestie. He and Cale Hazelhorse not on the same page. Incomplete pass. Hazelhorse wasn't even looking. I think he thought it was a run play. Looked like he was maybe looking for a block to start to develop. And instead, it came his way, 2nd and 10. Yankton trails 7, but they've got the football on their own 34. This time a handoff, Sedlacek gets through the short and small opening he had and will pick up 4 yards, 3rd and 6.
Sedlacek's been doing so well on that 1st and 10, giving us 4 to 6 yards every time, setting you up for a 2nd and 5. But now, because we reversed the order of our plays, we're stuck at 3rd and 7.
Short 7, long 6 here. It's 3rd down. The Pierre crowd making some noise for their defense. 2 receivers off to the left, 1 to the right for Bestie, who, as usual, is in the shotgun. Drops back, sits in the pocket. Now he's flushed out, faced by pressure, brought down by a sack. Cooper Terwilliger brings him in. Back-to-back defensive stops here on the field. We didn't think we'd say that at all so far, TJ. but Yankton is for sure going to be forced to punt this football away. Cooper Terwilliger has made his presence felt on the field. 3 receptions and now brings up a sack. A loss of 14 yards, 4th and 20. Liam Villanueva now to punt it away for the Bucks. This one, a big booming kick, goes all the way to the Pierre 34-yard line where Shufflebein gets it. A great tackle there by the Bucks, and the play made there by Ivan Hirschman. Hirschman kind of slow to get up, but probably just stopped what would have been a big return for Shufflebein.
And Shufflebein's doing such a great job on his returns tonight that was an excellent tackle, open field tackle by Hirschman there. Didn't let him get around him and got to his legs, wrapped him up, took him down.
Governors will start from their own 46-yard line. 1st and 10 as they've got possession yet again. We've got about our first defensive stop, what feels like, for each side. Now Jaron deals with an empty backfield, loads up, puts this one deep, as this one batted away. Great defense by Carter Boomsma. A beautiful pass breakup.
Carter Boomsma could not have timed that better. He ran, turned and sprinted downfield to make sure he was in position, got his head around right at the perfect moment and a hand up, knocking that ball away.
Some in the crowd maybe wanted a penalty, as they're thinking maybe it was similar to that Owen Eidsness, but Boomsma, quite honestly, was a step or two behind Shufflebein and got there just in the nick of time. It was pretty minimal contact, I thought. 2nd and 10 for the Governors. Back-to-back incomplete passes for Jaron Deal. They'll hand it off. Porter Hunsley with it. A hard runner, but he'll pick up only 2. You could nearly hear that contact from up here, even with the crowd noise. 3rd and 8 coming up.
And I wish I could say it was the defense that made that hit, but it was the runner that created all that for us.
Hunsley put the boom down that time for sure, but for Yankton, only a 2-yard pickup. 3rd and 8 here, and another big opportunity for this defense for a stop. 2 receivers on the left, 1 far out to the right. Jaron Deal alone in the backfield. Rolls out to the far side of the field across his body. It's dropped. This one dropped as Hudson Stozier can't pull it in. He wanted a flag. He won't get one. 4th down on the way.
I think we're seeing this referee team let these guys play tonight. There was maybe a little bit of contact, but not enough for a pass interference call.
And you do love it when the refs let them play. It is football. You know, we've talked about it before. There's going to be a little contact. It's a contact sport. And right now these officials doing a nice job. There's only been 1 penalty on each team so far, 7 minutes left in the first half. So kudos to the officiating crew here tonight. Another punt here for the Governors, as this one a fair catch by Eidsness at the 22. And you got to wonder if he was thinking about the last time he let one roll, decided, I'll just catch it here.
And that was a low trajectory punt. It didn't go very high, and so had he let that, it probably would have rolled quite a ways.
Bucks offense back out on the field after their defense with back-to-back stops. And there is a media timeout here on the field. We'll take that break as well. When we return, it's 1st and 10 for the Bucks offense, who has a chance to tie this up. 28-21 your score with 6:57 to play in the second quarter. The Governors lead, but the Bucks with the football on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Bucks break out of the huddle, and Pierre still talking things over here. Again, the Bucks take over after back-to-back defensive stops, and TJ, this maybe feels a little bit more what we were expecting from this game, with the defenses coming up big now after 49 points in the first quarter. Now no points almost halfway through the second quarter play. A tale of 2 quarters so far.
so far. And so far, these defenses in this quarter are doing a fantastic job.
Bucks offense back out on the field. They were stopped on their last drive, looking to tie this ball game up. Owen Eidsness is directing his team and trying to tell them, hey, get up on the line here. In as the H-back is Amaro. Into motion moves Eidsness. It's a handoff. Sedlacek. He's met at the line of scrimmage. No room to go there, as that was his 14th rushing attempt, and that is the first time he has been stuffed for no gain. 2nd and 10.
There's a lot going on that play, a lot of misdirection to give it to Sedlacek up the middle, but it also took a long time for that play to develop. Sedlacek seems to do a better job when he's got a little jump on the defense and he can just go right at him.
Again, Sedlacek has been so good for Yankton as of late. 3 games in a row of 170 yards or more. As Tate Bestie, some room in the pocket, rolls out. He's going to run it up towards the 30-yard line. A nice pickup. Looks like he's got about 8 yards on the carry. His first of the night, in a good decision to stick with it and just hang on to it.
That was an excellent decision by Bestie there, and we need to look for some leadership out of him to pick up some yards with his legs tonight.
On that near side, TJ, I do got to say, Drace Gaskins maybe got a little away with a little bit of a hold there. But for the Bucks, they'll take it on a 3rd and short here. Sedlacek gets it with ease, but then he's pummeled to the ground at the 34-yard line. He'll get the 4, but he's going to feel that one. It's not often that the defender puts the boom onto Yankton in Sedlacek.
Especially when it's a defender coming up from the secondary to hit him in the open field as well.
Yankton doesn't mind. They'll take the first down. Sedlacek remains in there. Talking with Coach Muth, he's got a motor like none other. He's already got 15 carries in the game. A pass attempt here. Bestie puts it deep, but that one nowhere near his receiver. Way overshot. Carter Boomsmuth falls incomplete as Bestie with back-to-back incomplete passes here. As we hit the halfway point of the second quarter, 28-21, Yankton trails Pierre. That's one Yankton's happy was incomplete there.
Well, it almost looked like he was throwing to the Pierre defender, and so we're lucky he overthrew everybody.
2 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. A handoff again. Jason Sedlacek to the far side of the field. He slipped. A flag is on the play. We'll see if it's on Yankton or Pierre. If you're Pierre, do you decline it if it's on Yankton to make a 3rd and 10, or is 2nd 20 a much more comfortable? We'll see what the call is here. And it's a hold on the offense. It will be a 10-yard penalty. They've accepted it. It'll be 2nd and 20. Yankton picks up penalty number 2 in the game overall. And this one, untimely for sure. Now 3 penalties in the game. Yankton with a 2nd and 20 situation. And a pretty obvious passing situation. Now we have seen them run in these situations. But you feel like you've just got to get 8 or more yards to give your team a chance. As now they'll fake the reverse and a quick screen to the outside. Jason Sedlacek follows his blockers. He's wrapped up. They'll pick up about 6-7 yards and a 3rd and long on the way. 7 yards on the pickup. And had Jason Sedlacek been able to get away from that defender, he might have had some room.
And as that play started to develop, it sure looked like he was going to go a long ways. So you have to hand it to the Pierre defender who was able to take him down in the open field.
It's getting loud here on a 3rd and long situation. Yankton with the football on their own 31-yard line, 13 yards away from the line to gain. Bestie steps up into the pocket, fires it on the far side. Hazelhorse has it up to the 40, across the 45. It looks like he's got enough for a Yankton first down.
Excellent job by Hazelhorse there, who knew exactly where he needed to get. And even though he got shoved hard right on the sideline, he was able to keep himself upright and get to the first down.
Up to their 48-yard line, nearing midfield. Yankton gets a crucial 3rd down pickup under 5 minutes to play here. Taking the snap, Bestie into the hands of Sedlacek. That time he had some room. He put the shoulder down that time, picks up 7, 2nd and 3 on the way.
If Sedlacek is willing to do that on first down, every first down,
Yankton's offense is going to have a good opportunity to score every time. 2nd and 3 here for the Bucks as Sedlacek, his 16th carry already in the first half. And now right back up the middle, they go with Easton Feaser. Dives ahead. He's got the first and an extra yard or 2. Up to the 40. A pickup of 5 for Feaser. 1st and 10. Yankton moving the ball well here. At the Pier 40-yard line are the Bucks on offense. They need 7 to tie it. Bestie rolls out after the snap. Good blocking, but now facing pressure. It's caught last second. Owen Eidsness not going to be able to get the toes in. Would have been a pickup of only a couple, so doesn't feel like it's too big of a loss there, but Eidsness, what an effort to try and get the catch. That is the second time he's been trying to tiptoe around that out of bounds and has been unable to bring it in. 2nd and 10 for the Bucks. Deep from the shotgun, a quick pass over to Eidsness, curls around after the catch, brings it back in, makes a few moves, goes back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up about a yard. And that's one where he could have just had more yards had he just ran the ball forward. Instead, thought he could maybe break a tackle, but that Pierre defense just surrounded him after that initial move.
You know, that's Owen Eidsness trying to do something for his team. He wants to make a big play. It's the championship game. He's taking the responsibility on his own shoulders.
Another 3rd and long situation for the Bucks. They converted on a 3rd and 13. Now it's 3rd and 9 on the field. Bestie trips to the right, 1 to the left. Sedlacek exits the backfield as over to Hazelhorst. It was his direction. A penalty does fly. We'll see if it's on Pierre as Hazelhorst just couldn't quite get turned around in time. Will Yankton be given some free yards here?
I think that play just goes to show you just how important timing is out there tonight. I think Hazelhorst just got bumped just slightly and threw his timing off, but that was a play designed where Bestie was throwing the ball well before he would have been turned around looking for it. So by the time he got his head around, he was already past the ball.
And it is going to be against Pierre as that call is met with some loud boos. A 15-yard penalty against Pierre, their second, for a total of 30 yards. 2 pass interferences, and that was a crucial one on 3rd and 9 as we watch as looks like a slight grab on Hazelhorst there. It moves the ball up to the 24-yard line. Yankton 1st and 10. Two receivers far off to the right. Faking the handoff is Bestie, rolls out, fires it deep into the end zone. It's going to be out of bounds, incomplete. Eidsness tried to make, Bestie tried to make it happen, but really, had he tried running it, there wasn't really anything going on there either. Decides I'll take a shot. If my guy can make the catch as he's going out of bounds, great. Otherwise, the defender has no opportunity to get his hands on it. Not the worst incomplete pass. Boomsma and Hazelhorst on the far right. It's Owen Eidsness to the left here for the Bucks. Bestie will not take the snap as movement before. It was a direct snap to Tegan LaCroix, but I think this one's moving 5 yards back to make a 2nd and 15 play for the Bucks. It is a false start on Yankton, and it goes against Jake Walter, a junior lineman. Walter not too consistently out on the field, picks up a false start. And now it looks like Tegan LaCroix, another direct snap, tries to set the edge, breaks the tackle up to the 30 to the 25, brought down at the 24-yard line. He'll get back those 5 yards, 3rd and 10 coming up.
He got past Terwilliger, but Terwilliger was able to collect himself and chased him down, was able to grab his jersey and make the tackle.
Terwilliger was one of the players we said to keep an eye out for in this game, and he's certainly been an impactful player here. 2:40 to play in the first half. It's 28-21. Pierre leads. Yankton on offense. 3rd and 10 from Pierre's 24-yard line. Bestie back in action as the quarterback takes the snap, drops back, rolls out, now steps back, fires it into the hands of Hazelhorst. Caught! Hazelhorst nears the 10-yard line. A pickup of about 15. Yankton with first and goal. And a 16-yard pickup. Yankton moves the chains. It just seems like every time they need a big pickup, they get it, TJ.
And that was an excellent job of receivers finding themselves open to be able to pick up a first down.
First and goal as Bestie just fires it high, falls incomplete. Abe O'Brien, the intended target there.
Good decision. He had people on top of him right away. He threw that ball up and over O'Brien where only Abe could have gone up and gotten it.
Second and goal now from the Pier 9-yard line. Yankton looks to tie this one up with just over 2 minutes to play. Tate Bestie here from the shotgun, hands it off. Jason Lacek follows his blocks, brings it in from 9 yards out. Jason Lacek, a 9-yard touchdown run in his second of the night. 28-27, our first score in the second quarter. Yankton brings it within one. We've got ourselves a ball game, TJ.
Good job by the Bucks to not get down on themselves early when big plays were being scored against them. The score was not in their favor, but they've battled, they've worked their way back, and now we're going for a tie game here.
Ortiz can tie it up with an extra point here. 2:15 to play in the first half of action. Hold is good. Kevin Ortiz puts it up. It's good. We are tied back up here at the Dakota Dome in the state championship game for 11AA. The Bucks have fought back in it after being down 2 scores and have tied it up at 28. When we return, our final break of the first half, we'll be back on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Imagine working for a successful global business with customers in 140 countries. That's Vishay Intertechnology, a Fortune 1000 maker of electronic componentry. Now imagine a company of that size with that kind of stability and a caring family-like environment. Learn more about what you can do at Vishay by visiting VishayCareers.com. Vishay is an equal opportunity employer. Vishay, the DNA of tech.
We are all tied up, 2:15 to play in our first half of action. 28-28, the Bucks, after Jason Lacek drives it in from 9 yards out on second and goal. His second touchdown of the night comes off his 17th rushing attempt of the game. He's a player you just don't even be surprised if he runs for 40 attempts. Yankton has worked their way back in. What a game, and what a night for football. Pierre now will receive the kickoff, but out of the second half, Yankton will get the kickoff. Another short kick, fielded around the 25-yard line and brought down at the 35-yard line there is Hudson Stozier. Again, Yankton is not going to give an opportunity for Shufflebein to get that ball in his hands. And I don't blame him one bit. Again, I just don't blame him. He had that kick return where he just broke multiple tackles and just looked like the best player on the field, and so don't let him touch it.
And that's going to be the strategy for the remainder of the game here tonight.
First and 10 now for the Governors with the football on their own 35-yard line. 2 minutes, 11 seconds they have to try and take the lead entering our Vishay Yankton halftime. And you want to keep it tuned for that. I've got interviews with both Miles Drotzman and Edley Amaro Jr. as a quarterback keeper. Trace Gaskins gets in the backfield, brings him down for a loss of 5. Trace Gaskins comes up huge as Jaron Deal is going to lose a few yards. They'll say he was thrown back 2 yards, so he only lost 3. Second and 13.
You know, Jaron Deal was just slipping tackles left and right in the beginning of this game in that first quarter, but now this Bucks defense is learning how to just grab on and make sure he doesn't get yardage.
Jaron Deal will now drop back for a pass attempt across the middle, sends it in and out of Terwilliger's hands. Third and 13. Now Yankton feels like they've got the momentum in this game for possibly the first time of the night. A third and long after 4 straight incompletions from Jaron Deal. And TJ, we talked about it. Deal was not the quarterback last time they played, and that's kind of part of it. You've got to learn this new player who came out lights out on fire. You've got to learn him, and it feels like maybe Yankton's not going to say they figured him out, but they know a little bit better now on how to play him. 3rd and 13 for the Governors. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Deal met in the backfield. He's going to be wrapped up, brought down, well short of the first down line. He'll pick up a yard. Whistles will blow. It's a timeout for Yankton, who wants to take a score. They want a 2-for-1, TJ, because they're going to get the second half kickoff. And what better way to totally gain momentum in this game?
If they could get the ball back here and make a run at another score, that would be huge going into the second half with the ball in their hands.
4th down here, an obvious punt situation. It was a timeout called by the Bucks, a Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton water break. Locally owned for 4 generations. Call them for water softening and purification, salt, reverse osmosis needs, and bottled water. That's Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton. We'll take a break and be back for kickoff.
There's a whole new world out there. It's called the off-road, and it's waiting to be explored in a Polaris. So gear up to make every moment count with the Polaris off-road vehicle. The new Polaris models are now available at Stockman's Motorsports in Yankton. No matter the weather, get ready to tackle all the trails. With machines like these, your world just gets bigger. Stop in at Stockman's Motorsports today to learn more about the epic new Polaris off-road lineup.
Back to the field, and I said kickoff back for the punt by the Governors. We've just had so many touchdowns and scores, you just assume it's going to be a kickoff. 56 points scored here in the first half of action. These teams average over 30 points per game, TJ, but that's usually across a whole game, not one half of football.
It's been a fast and furious start here that first quarter, but the second quarter has slowed down. We've only got 1 touchdown so far.
So the Governors will be forced to punt this one away. And that one a high punt. It goes into Yankton territory, takes a friendly bounce for Pierre. It'll drop all the way to Yankton's 17-yard line. A 50-yard punt, TJ. How many times in football at the high school level do you see a 50-yard punt?
Not very often. That was a high punt, and Isis was counting on it not bouncing very far, but that ball rolled a long ways.
So Yankton now with 1st and 10. They'll take over on their own 17-yard line. A long field with 73 seconds and 2 timeouts to do so. Again, though, Yankton is a fast-moving offense. This is what they're built for right here. 2 receivers far out to the left, 1 to the right. Edley Amaro in as the H-back. Tate Bestie will take it. A quick pass out to Owen Eidsness, who's met with contact behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose multiple yards. A loss of about 4 yards, 2nd and 14. And
that was Logan Whitty in coverage for Pierre, and he was being actively blocked, but he was able to fight his way through and get a hold of a slippery Owen Eidsness.
And just a heck of a play. Hats off to the defense on that one. We'll see if Yankton will elect to just kind of run some time off the clock, or if they still want to play aggressive. Under 40 seconds, and they'll take the snap. Now handing off Jason Lachek to the outside of the line. Flag will fly. Follows his block up across to the 29 before he's pushed out. A 15-yard play that's probably going to be called back. Governors with all 3 timeouts left in the half. But you wonder if they get the ball with 22 seconds, how much of an opportunity they have to play. We await the call here, and pretty confident it's against Yankton. Would be half the distance to the goal. They're on the 14. It would put them back to their own 7-yard line. And it is Edley Amaro Jr. gets tagged with a penalty. It's Yankton's 4th. And marches the football all the way back to the 7-yard line. It is about 2nd and 20 right now for this Yankton Bucks offense. 30 seconds to play in our first half. We are tied up at 28 apiece. Bucks will receive the second half kickoff. Into motion moves Eidsness, and now the snap and handoff again. Jason Lachek spins off of the first defender up to about the 13-yard line. And we do have a timeout. A 6-yard pickup for Jason Lachek, 3rd and long. And Pierre will take a timeout, TJ. 23 seconds, and Yankton's got to run another play. But, you know, if you can get the football at around the midfield, take a couple of shots, see what you can do. We'll see how it all pans out when we return on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
My name is Len Peterson, and at Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, there really is a difference. I think a big difference that Elkhorn Valley Bank offers customers is a quick turnaround in loan decision. We try to make a quick and accurate decision for our customers so they can get quick answers and run their businesses as smoothly as they can. A community banker builds a relationship, plain and simple. Elkhorn Valley Bank, great for you, great for your community.
Back on the field, we're tied up at 28 apiece, 23 seconds to play. Yankton with the football and a 3rd and 14 situation. Pierre called a timeout. That means they want the ball back. And a possible chance to score before halftime. Yankton's got one more play unless they get the first down, but it's a long ways out. 14 yards is what they need. A duo of receivers on the left side, but again a handoff is Jason Lachek right back up the middle to the 15-yard line. He'll pick up 2, and Pierre will call a timeout with 18 seconds to go. So it's 4th and long. Yankton's going to be forced to punt away. TJ, what do you feel is the most time Pierre can realistically have the ball after the punt?
Just 4 or 5 seconds. They really need to try to just advance the ball a little bit unless there's a clear path towards the end zone. But with this Bucs special teams, they don't allow that very often. So they're going to look to get the ball centered and ready for a couple shots at the end zone.
And a fair catch could have them with the football with, a little bit of time, not much certainly, but it is the state championship. You win, you're the champions. You lose, you're not, and that is the end of your season. This is when you see big risk plays out of teams. And we already saw it earlier. Pierre went for it on a 4th and long situation. Did not get it, and that helped Yankton get a little bit of momentum moving there earlier in the half. As it is the punt formation here for Yankton, as Shufflebine is back to return for the Governors at his own 46-yard line. Yankton looking for a good punt here. 18 seconds. Snap was a little high, but Villanueva got it away. It'll bounce at the Yankton 46, and it'll bounce a few more times, taking time off the clock into Pierre territory with, Shufflebine drops on it, 6 seconds. TJ, you were pretty close on the call. 6 seconds for Pierre. They've got to bring the ball 52 yards. Now you wonder, Shufflebine really should have either jumped on that ball right away or tried to fair catch it. They could have had the ball with about 11 seconds on Yankton's 46. And then you feel like you maybe got a realistic shot. They're still going to take it here, but 52 yards is going to be hard to overcome. 1st and 10 for the Governors. As the Governors now use their 3rd and final timeout, it's another Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton water break.
At Elwood Family Dental Care, we treat our patients like family. We have an experienced and caring dental team. We take the time to make sure you understand your oral health and answer any questions you have about your dental treatments. We take pride in educating our patients. Whether you need fillings, crowns or bridges, dental implants, just a teeth cleaning, or even Botox, come visit us at 1818 Broadway Avenue. And remember, we take care of the entire family.
We've got 6 seconds left of the first half to play. We're tied up at 28 apiece, and Pierre's got the football. Looks like they've moved it to the 49-yard line, so only 51 yards now, TJ. They realistically, you've got one big play and maybe 2 if you get a quick out and out of bounds route. We'll see. Jaron Deal takes the snap. They're going to try and take it all here as Deal avoiding pressure all the way deep near the 10-yard line. A push-off as Terwilliger catches it, and he drives it into the end zone. Cooper Terwilliger, a 51-yard touchdown to close out our first half of action. Pierre takes the lead, 34-28, with the extra point coming out. And TJ, he might have gotten away with a little bit of a push-off there, but again, they've been letting them play.
They have been letting them play tonight. I think this was Yankton's turn to boo on that call. But here we are, 34-28 at the end of the first half. What a half of football.
The extra point attempt here is up, and it was good. So 35-28 is your score. The Bucks trail the Governors as we enter our Vichay-Yankton halftime show. No longer a tie. The Bucks will receive the second half kick as the Governors started with the football in this one. And now Steve Steele, Coach Steele, is looking like a genius for calling those timeouts and giving his team an opportunity. Jaron Deal threw the football 45 yards. A sophomore quarterback with a cannon of an arm throws it up. Cooper Terwilliger brings it in for what might be the biggest play of the first half here. 35-28 as we take a break. Coming up, we've got highlighted player interviews. We've got halftime stats, game trends, and halftime beyond the game all on its way.
Doctors Lane, Reed, and Cole Swatsky make up the SWAT Chiropractic team. Check out their new location at 2000 Summit Street, Yankton, South Dakota. At SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, they'll treat your neck and back pain, headaches and migraines, plantar fasciitis, sciatica, sports injuries, elbow, knee, rotator cuff, nerve injuries, and more. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy. Let them get you ready for wherever life leads you.
Slumberland Furniture at 2401 Broadway in Yankton, home of Kirkland Furniture Groups, bedroom groups by Laguna, and dining sets by Tower and Catadel. They're also the only place to offer furniture by Flex Steel and the biggest selection of Lazy Boy in the area. The Mattress Gallery is full of the best brand name mattresses in the business, including the all-new Tempur-Pedic Active Breeze personalized climate-controlled mattress. Slumberland Furniture, dining, bedroom sets, and mattresses in Yankton.
Warmer days are coming, and sooner or later your air conditioning will need to kick in as well. But what if it doesn't? Well, don't wait. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling. With 43 years in the business, we're very knowledgeable on what we do and how we serve our customers. You can rest assured that when you call day or night, someone will always pick up the call. Join our elite club today and become a priority member. Skip the line, get discounts on services, and have no overtime fees. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling for expert service from factory-trained technicians.
Craving something boss level delicious? Come out to Boss Pizza and Chicken, where flavor meets delicious and delicious meets drooling. Your taste buds won't be the same when you taste the bold flavors of Boss Pizza and Chicken. From crispy chicken to juicy burgers to handcrafted specialty pizzas, Boss has it all. Serving lunch and dinner Monday through Sunday starting at 11 o'clock. That's why they're the boss. Boss Pizza and Chicken, just waiting to crush your cravings.
FloorTech Cleaning and Restoration in Yankton, Mitchell, and Norfolk and surrounding areas is the call you need to make when you need your carpets, ductwork, or a trauma cleanup. With 24-hour emergency services for fire and water, mold mitigation, and reconstruction services for residential and commercial properties. Locally owned and operated at 220 East 3rd Street in Yankton.
When your home or floor is wet, call FloorTech.
MT and RC Smith Insurance has been a part of the Yankton community since 1949. Our agency would love to help you with your home, auto, business, life, and long-term care insurance needs.
We take pride in providing you with quality service when you have a claim or need to make changes to your coverage.
The MT and RC Smith Insurance Agency is flexible to meet with you in person or at the office at 204 West 4th Street. Give them a call for insurance changes, payments, claims, or service requests.
Back to the field for the Vichay-Yankton halftime show to find the world's future. Vichay Electronic Components bring to life the world's most important products. Products that touch lives everywhere, every day. Vichay, building the DNA of tech. It's 35-28 at the half with Pierre on top after a miracle play. 51 yards it went from Jaron Deal to Cooper Terwilliger to put them on top in what was a tied game. Yankton will receive the second half kickoff and look to tie things up yet again. Your halftime stats for the leaders in this one. We'll start with Pierre. Rushing the football, Porter Hunsley, 7 attempts for 47 yards, 2 touchdowns with a 6.7 yards per carry average. Jaron Deal with 8 carries, 29 yards, 3.5 yards per carry. Throwing the football, Jaron Deal, 6 for 12, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And receiving for the Governors, Cooper Terwilliger with 4 catches, 59 yards, a touchdown. Carter Shufflebine, 2 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Leading the way tackling for the Governors, Sutton Sunshine with 5 unassisted. Porter Hunsley with 3 unassisted and 1 assisted for 4 total. And Samuel Larson and William Eilers both with 4 total, 2 assisted, 2 unassisted. Your halftime stats for the Bucks, Jason Lachek, 18 carries for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's having a heck of a game, and it's really no surprise for us. Easton Feeser, 4 carries for 15 yards, and Tegan LaCroix, 1 carry, went 5 yards. Tate Bestie, 2 attempts, and he has lost a total of 6 yards on those attempts. Throwing the football, Bestie is 12 for 19, 109 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions. Receiving, Cale Hazelhorst, 4 receptions, 46 yards. Owen Eidson has 4 catches, 33 yards and a touchdown. Abe O'Brien has brought in 2 for 18 yards, and Jason Lachek has also brought in 2 for 12 yards. Leading the way on tackles is Cale Hazelhorst on defense with 4 total, all unassisted. Chase Platt with 3, 2 unassisted, 1 assisted. And then Carter Boomsma and Drace Gaskins with 2 apiece, both unassisted. TJ, it is 35-28. Not quite the game we expected. It has been the fast and the furious start for these games. What did you see in that first half, and what adjustments do you think each side needs to make?
Well, these teams came out, and they were ready to both make a statement, and they did that right out of the gate. Within 4 minutes, we already had 3 touchdowns, and the first quarter just continued on like that. Both teams kind of settled in. The defensive fronts really did a better job through that second quarter. I think at halftime, you're going to see both teams looking to try to pick on the guys that have been hurting them the most. So hopefully we see this Bucks defense able to key in on Pierre's top guys this second half.
What a game it's been. If you know anyone who'd like to watch and listen live, you can certainly share the link or just let them know Yankton streaming on YouTube. Otherwise, they can turn it to 106.3 on the dial. That's Classic Hits 106.3 for Yankton Bucks football. As I mentioned, I got a chance to talk with a couple of Yankton Bucks players for our usual highlighted player of the week. In honor of the championship, decided to take an extra interview. We've got both Miles Drotzman and Edley Amaro Jr. We'll start and listen with that chat with Miles Drotzman first, followed by the interview with Edley Amaro.
Honor Vacher Yankton halftime show, our first highlighted player of the week, Miles Drotzman. Miles, on to the championship game, but let's talk about what went down in the semifinals matchup against Sturgis Brown.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. I know our defense is a little disappointed in letting them score 28 points, but when our offense plays as good as they did, it's really fun, and it really helps us out.
You're coming off a game in which you pulled in a pick six as well as got to the quarterback with a sack. How do you try to build off of that going into the next game?
I guess just try to do it all over again. Work my tail off in practice, and hopefully it pays off Friday.
Now in the championship, you take on Pierre T.F. Riggs. What are you looking to see in this one?
A lot of wildcat. I know their receivers are really good. They got a lot of speed and size, so thinking some deep shots down the middle or just down the sideline.
And what would a championship mean to you?
I think it would mean a lot. I haven't really experienced anything like it, so I'm really excited, and I hope we can get it done.
And how do you prep for such a big game?
We really just need to focus in and carry every little detail we did throughout the weeks and put it into these practices, and especially on the game on Friday.
Do you have any kind of pregame ritual?
Usually just like to sit there in silence and just focus on my own thoughts.
Now for the question that's had some debate within your team. If you all competed in the Oklahoma drill, who comes out as the winner?
That's a good question. I'd say Jason Lachek.
Well, Miles, appreciate the time. Good luck, and hopefully we'll see the state title coming back to Yankton.
Thank you.
Now for our second and final highlighted player of the week, Edley Amaro Jr. Edley coming off a big win over Sturgis Brown last week. What went well for you and the team?
I think my blocking for Jace, we call him Swizz, to get up the field and run the ball.
Throughout this year, we've seen you in the backfield nonstop, giving trouble to the opposing offense. What are your go-to moves to get by that offensive line?
Long arm and a long arm and then a rip inside. I think it works the most. And if we go like inside blitz, when Crawl goes right behind me and I go inside, I think that works the most.
And we've seen you plenty on offense as well, with the occasional rushing attempt or reception. When that ball is in your hands, what are you thinking?
Hopefully I don't fumble.
Do you go out of your way to hit somebody then?
Yeah. If I don't have the ball, I'm just gonna hit the first person I see.
Coming up the championship at the Dome against the Governors, what do you think about this matchup?
It's gonna be a close game. Last time it was a close game against them, they played pretty good. So this game is gonna be intense, gonna be close. Hopefully we put 20 on them or more, but it's gonna be a good game.
And what have you been doing to get ready for this huge game?
Seeing film and see who I have to block on offense. The most I have to do is help more on offense, put more points on the board. And defense, our defense better be good that day.
And you're going to be the final player to answer this question, so I guess you get final say. In an Oklahoma drill between your whole team, who's winning?
Feezer, Easton Fees, too Feezy.
Appreciate the time, Medley. Good luck against Pierre.
All right, thank you.
Les Schwab Tires, located at 2809 Broadway in Yankton. It's the place to buy tires with all different tread types to fit your needs and rims ready to make your vehicle shine. Not only do they sell tires, they fix them too. Flats, brakes, alignments, and more. You can feel confident that your car will be taken care of. No waiting for your tires, they should have them in stock. If you're looking for tractor or semi-tires, those are available too. Les Schwab Tires, where the sign says it all.
Hi, it's Linda at Linda's Angel Crossing in Yankton. Ladies, come into the store for all your new fall clothing needs. There's Tribal, there's Lulu Bee, Ethel, and Southern Lady. The nursery has everything you need for gift giving, baptism, copper pearl bibs, magnetic sleepers, swaddlers, toddlers, clothing, and boys and girls Under Armour to size 7. Don't forget toys and little golden books. Linda's Angel Crossing in Yankton.
Authentic Mexican food goods with the family touch is here in Yankton at Angela's Mexican Store. From fresh produce and meats to the spices and the snacks you miss from home. Traveling or just moved? No problem. They accept money from many different countries. Check out the different kinds of money on the wall. Family owned, family loved. They treat you like family. Angela's Mexican Store, where culture meets community. Stop in today.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
The Bonesetter Chiropractic, Yankton. I'm Dr. TJ Stotz. When you need chiropractic, we're here. We use a hands-on approach, decompression traction, electrical stimulation, acupuncture, and state-of-the-art examination techniques. We're happy to offer exercise and supplement advice as well. The Bonesetter Chiropractic, 215 Mulberry, Suite 9, Yankton. Call or text 605-401-5701. Bringing you comfort when there's discomfort.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you pics so you can see what I mean.
Oh my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team, fixing pickles since 1984.
Back on our Vichet Yankton halftime show, it's time for your halftime Beyond the Game, brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning. When you want comfort, you want Kalen's. Of course, tonight the talk of the town was the state championship game for the Bucks, who are currently knotted up 35, or not knotted up. They were before a Hail Mary. Now it's 35-28 favoring Pierre. But also what happened today was the oral interpretation varsity event, the Warrior Invite at Sioux Falls, Washington High School. Nothing going on this weekend. Should Yankton win, though, we'll have a celebration tomorrow morning at the high school gym. And should they win, it should be a night of celebration and then a fun celebration tomorrow at the school as well. Into next week on Monday, November 17th, the high school one-act play meeting will take place at the high school main theater backstage, 3:30 to 4:30. There'll be a high school choir booster club meeting at 5:30 to 6:30. The high school competitive dance end-of-season banquet at the Yankton High School Commons, 6 to 7. And Young Bucks boys basketball camp, 6:15 to 7:30. Into Tuesday, a few meetings. The high school girls basketball player meeting at high school room 126 from 3:10 to 4. High school parent-teacher conferences from 4 until 8. And high school junior class parent information night, 5:30 to 6:30. Into Wednesday, there will be a high school boys basketball players meeting, which when basketball comes around, we'll be excited to cover it, both on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. That'll be at room 123, 3:15 to 3:45. And then also on Wednesday, the YEA-YSD celebration of American Education Week at the Yankton High School Commons from 4:15 to 5:30. Further into the week on Thursday, Young Bucks boys basketball camp again from 6:15 to 7:30. And a high school girls basketball parents meeting at the YCAH Theater from 7 until 8. Now, next Friday, it just feels weird saying there's not going to be any football, but there's not, because that is all going to come to a close here tonight for the Bucks. But next Friday, Oral Interpretation Varsity Invitational. It's the Roratorium event at Harrisburg High School. Time is to be determined. And then volleyball girls varsity state tournament will be taking place. Now, Yankton did fall to Sioux Falls Lincoln. Won't be in that, but it will be going on. That is your halftime Beyond the Game, brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Again, when you want comfort, you want Kalen's. We'll take our final break of the half, and when we return, 12 minutes for the third quarter, 12 minutes for the fourth quarter, and a thriller here at the Dakota Dome.
Triple Time Rudy's on the corner of 16th and Broadway, Yankton. Stop in and check out their wide variety of items. Grab some snacks, whether you want chips, popcorn, or something sweet, they have it. Ice cold beverages, or when you need that boost in the morning, coffee. You can also grab the best locally produced meats, meat sticks, and cheeses in the area, guaranteed fresh. For those hot days, grab a Freezy too. Get all your car needs and 5 cents off a gallon when using cash. All at Triple Time Rudy's, Yankton.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For whatever plumbing needs that come your way, trust your local guys at Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating of Yankton. Leaky faucets, boilers, or anything in between. Rest assured it'll get done the right way. Looking for new plumbing? You got it. Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating takes care of residential and commercial, from houses to hospitals to banks. Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating of Yankton takes away the stress and provides great results. Locally owned and operated, and proud to support Yankton Athletics.
It's nearly time for the second half of action. 35-28, the Governors lead the Yankton Bucks in the state championship at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. Thanks for tuning in on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube. I'm Zach Spear. Along with me is TJ Stotz on color, and Tristan Nelson helping out on stream and camera. A big thank you to all of our Sportscaster Club members and our Element sponsors. We couldn't do our broadcasting of these games without you, and we really do love getting to cover local athletics, including Yankton, Vermillion, Gayville, Vollen, and a variety of other area teams. 12 minutes put back on the clock here. TJ, if you're getting the football after a half like that, what's your thought on offense?
We just got to be consistent. We're going to come out, try to get some good yardage on first down, and hopefully a good return right here.
And the kick will cross the 10, and did it go out of bounds or into the end zone? Couldn't see from here. We're blocked off by the crowd, and it looks like
it went out of bounds.
We'll see where they spot it. And it did go out of bounds. TJ, good call. So that will be good starting field position for Yankton, who will have the football on their own 35 to start the second half. The third penalty against Pierre, they've all went for exactly 15 yards. And there's the call, and Yankton will start the second half of action with the football. They trail 7, looking to tie it up. Again, Yankton hasn't led in this game yet, and we're at the second half now. They trail 7. Both Sedlacek and Amaro in the backfield. Amaro the H-back, and Sedlacek the halfback. Play action as Tate Bestie fires it deep just beyond the hands of Owen Eidsness. Had he thrown that one a little bit less on it, that was going 65 yards for 6.
And Bestie there threw a little bit of a flat pass. He needed a little more air under it as Eidsness was out in front. He could have run underneath it.
Eidsness had a couple steps on the defender, and, you know, and I like the shot. So Yankton tries to score it right off the bat. Jason Lachik gets the handoff. Stiff arm right away. Dives out of bounds near the 37, 38-yard line. He'll pick up a few 3rd and 7 on the way. That is now his 20th carry of the night. Jason Lachek over 100 rushing yards and a touchdown, and this second half has just started. 3rd and 7 for the Bucks. Looking to score to tie it up. Pierre looking to make this a multi-possession game, and getting a stop here would start that. Bestie works it from the shotgun. He's going to roll out, fires it, has Eidsness open, gets the first down, up across to the 48-yard line. First down, Yankton, and a pickup of 10 yards. And just the play Yankton felt like they maybe needed there to stay in possession here on offense, TJ. A big play for sure. 1st and 10 now from their own 47. Into motion moves Eidsness. They fake the jet sweep, instead move it up the middle with Sedlacek, who kicks it to the outside. A flag will fly, multiple will fly, but Sedlacek brought down at the line of scrimmage. This one's probably a hold against Yankton, and moving back 10 yards.
I agree, it probably is a hold against Yankton, but I didn't see one. I was watching them progress down the line. I didn't see a blatant hold.
It is holding. I believe they said 11, which would mean Edley Amaro Jr. again, his 2nd hold of the night. A 10-yard penalty, Yankton's 5th of the night. And it'll be 1st and 20 here now. Yankton's had a few of these situations. We'll see if they can overcome it again. The clock will continue to roll now after the official signal. 2 receivers on the right, 1 to the left, and now Abe O'Brien will shift to the right, so it's trips right, and they'll fake the short pass one way, go the other way. Jason Lachek, an incomplete pass. He couldn't haul it in, but it was definitely better for Yankton that he couldn't make the catch.
Once again, that was Logan Whitty for Pierre defense coming up, not being fooled by that screen pass back to the other side.
And it looked like he was going to pull it in and be brought down for a loss. Dropped it, and that really ended up being a blessing in disguise for Yankton. 2nd and 20 for the Bucks offense. Sedlacek moves out of the backfield. Tate Bestie looks to throw this one. No one open, so he takes his time. A diving effort. Owen Eidsness gets it in. Gets near the original line of scrimmage. A nice effort there by Eidsness. He picks up 9 on back-to-back catches for him. And once again, 3rd and long, they need 11. Yankton converted on their last 3rd down. Now they need 11. It's over to Pierce, 43-yard line. Another passing situation for Bestie, who steps up. He's going to run it across midfield. He's brought down. Is that a horse collar? No. He must have just been under the name, there's no name, but where the name would be on the jersey. And now some booing from Yankton sideline. A 4-yard run for Tate Bestie, 7 yards shy, and a horse collar would have given a first down, but of course, they've got a much better view on it down on the field. We'll take their word for it. And a punt situation here for the Governors. This game has the makings to be an all-timer. The punt here for Villanueva, booming as it's caught at the 18-yard line. Shufflebein shifts by the first defender across the 30 and near the sideline, pushed out. A nice return by Shufflebein, which is no surprise to say.
Yankton's defense now is going to have to come out strong. We'd like to see this defensive line get some more pressure in there and not allow them time to go with the big over-the-top pass.
And that's, again, we said it early, TJ, Pierre thrives on big plays. That's been exactly what it's been for them in this game. Multiple touchdowns that have gone for 50 yards or more. 2 on offense for 50-plus yards. A kick return touchdown that was 90-plus yards. Yankton needs to limit that, and as you said, get some pressure. Jaron Deal, a designated quarterback run. He's going to be met by a swarm of Bucs defenders. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Thought they maybe could have got him down for a loss, but they'll take a no gain on the play. We cross the 10-minute mark here in the third quarter. It's 35-28. Governors lead this one with the football. It's 2nd and 10.
Once again on that play, Drace Gaskins was in the backfield. He really had a good grip on Deal, but Deal is slick, and he was able to get out of the grasp of Gaskins, but didn't pick up any yardage.
Jaron Deal, a sophomore quarterback, 6 feet tall, 160, so not necessarily the biggest body either, but tough to bring down as he'll roll out looking to throw it here. Fires it deep, has a man wide open at the 49-yard line. It is caught. Shufflebein, another big play for his team. They'll get 15 yards, and ball is at midfield, 1st and 10 for Pierre. Shufflebein now has not only a kick return touchdown and a big sack late in the first half, but he's also got over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. Yankton needs to find a way to limit his production in this one. Deal from the shotgun, flips it out. Hunsley, his first carry of the second half. It's a good one across the first down line. And back-to-back 15-yard pickups for the Governors offense as they're moving the ball well.
We just can't let him get out in the open field like that. As soon as he had just a little bit of daylight, he got up to full speed really quick. By the time he got hit, he fell forward for another 4 yards.
Pierre is moving the ball at will right now. 30 yards in their last 2 plays. Ball is now up to Yankton's 35-yard line, and the Bucs feeling like they just don't want to give up points. Any points makes this a 2-possession game favoring Pierre. Jaron Deal follows his blockers on a designated quarterback run to the outside. He goes, a nice pickup on first. We'll see where they marked him out. At about the 30-yard line, a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 on the way.
Bucs defense has got to close off the end there. He ran that to the short side of the field, and he still was able to get around the corner.
Jaron Deal has ran the ball 10 times, more than anyone else on his team. The other ball carrier for the Governors, Porter Hunsley, as the running back with 8 attempts. A 2nd and medium situation for the Governors here. Yankton's defense needs a stop. A pitch here, Porter Hunsley up across now to the 19-yard line. A first down and a pickup of 11 for Porter Hunsley on his 9th carry of the night.
And that looked like just a repeat of his last carry where he got a little bit of daylight, got himself up to full speed, and picked up another first down.
First and 10 here for the Governors, who are now deep into Yankton territory. Into the red zone, they move it. They've already got a touchdown lead. They've led by multiple scores earlier in the game, trying to do so here. Jaron Deal from the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right here, takes the snap, pitches it to the near side to Hunsley. Hunsley brought down at the 19, no gain on the play.
Buck's doing a much better job on that play of sniffing out and getting 3 guys to him right away, not letting him get up to full speed and through the line.
And for Pierre, they've only thrown the ball once here in the second half, and it feels like Yankton finally said, enough, we're going to stop the run now. 2nd and 10 here, as there is no pickup on the play for the Governors. They fake the handoff. Deal looks to throw it across to the near side. Wide open. No one near him. Caught at the 5. A touchdown for Porter Hunsley. That was just broken coverage there, as Porter Hunsley didn't have anyone within 8 yards of him, maybe even 10, TJ. Brings it in for a 19-yard touchdown catch. 41-28, Yankton now trails.
You just can't lose track of a guy around that backside like that. Yankton runs similar plays. You should be familiar with it and looking for it.
And as you said, Yankton's ran multiple plays like that, and Pierce seemingly can sniff it out on defense. It's been the opposite side for Yankton's defense, as another extra point for Templeton is up and through. He is now 6 for 6 on the night. 42-28, your new score here early in the third quarter. 7:06 to play in the third set. 42-28, Governors lead it on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
Welcome to Wall of Fame, where style meets customization, specializing in crafting custom clothing and print shirts. We ensure every stitch and every print is of the highest quality, so you get the best clothes every time. We're here for all your promotion needs, and the best part, our process is seamless. Simply share your designs with us and we'll handle the rest. Get custom clothes for the best price. Wall of Fame.
Back to the field. We're in the second half of action. Pierre leads 42-28 over the Bucks. There's plenty of time left. 19 minutes and 6 seconds of game time left. We saw in the first half Pierre led by 2 scores, and Yankton was able to bring it back within a tie right before the Hail Mary. And right now for Pierre, they lead 14. Yankton's got to get rolling.
Yankton's going to have to play some pretty outstanding football through the rest of this game. They can't make mistakes. They can't stop themselves. They've got to play their game if they're hoping to come back and beat this Pierre team.
And I think you hit the nail right on the head there, TJ. They're going to have to play near flawless football. This is a Governors football team that doesn't make mistakes. They play good from ahead, and at any given moment, they can bring it in for a touchdown. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 23. They have an opportunity to score it. So another kickoff here, a squib up the middle. As a roller, it's scooped up at the 24-yard line across to the 30, and that's where Yankton will start on offense. The Bucks trying to break what just feels like a curse against Pierre. They wanted probably to play anybody besides the Governors in this championship game, but you got to play who's on your team. First and 10 for the Bucks on offense. They start with it on their own 30-yard line. 70 yards between them and the end zone right now. A flag will fly, and I think this one's going to be against Yankton again. And
we just said it. You can't beat yourself, and a false start is going to beat yourself.
1st and 15 now for the Bucks after the 5-yard penalty. They've now picked up 6, and Coach Steele and Muth kind of both mentioned it might come down to who makes less mistakes, and right now that is Pierre. 1st and 15, Yankton with the football. Sedlacek, patient running, burst through the hole across the 40. He's going to reach midfield, and he has a huge pickup to get Yankton's offense rolling. A 27-yard pickup for Jay Sedlacek, who has been the hero of his team the last 3 games combined. Can he do it again here tonight as you watch that replay on Yankton Nelson's replay on Yankton streaming? From Pierre's 48-yard line, now an option as Bestie looks like he wants to keep it. Falls forward to about the 45-yard line to pick up a few. 2nd and 7 on the way.
That was the right decision by Bestie. Had he optioned that ball off, there was nowhere for them to go. Just pick up the 3 yards. Don't risk the fumble.
We already saw one fumble. It was the lone turnover for this Bucs offense in the game. Onside kick, not necessarily a turnover, as you never had possession. Now 2nd and 7 for this Bucs offense. We near the midway point of the third quarter. Tate Bestie from the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, pump fakes once, then sends it deep. Has Owen Isis at the 20, hauls it in, brings it in for 6. There is a penalty on the play. Yankton is just hoping it's not against them. For now, a 45-yard touchdown on the board for the Bucs. Owen Isis, talk about a great pump fake there from Tate Bestie.
I'm not so sure that wasn't Bestie telling him, wave off the first route, go for the second one. That's the two of them having played a lot of years of football together and knowing how the other one's thinking.
And right now, we have no call on the play, but it's going to stand as a touchdown for Yankton, who's right back in it. A 45-yard dart from Tate Bestie to Owen Isis. And TJ, the penalty, a pass interference on Pierre. Doesn't matter, Owen Isis fights through it, gets the 45-yard touchdown catch. I mean, what a game we have here tonight. Back down to a one-possession game as Pierre, their 4th straight 15-yard penalty, it'll be enforced on the kickoff. Ortiz, his 4th attempt of the night, missed the first, made the next 2, looking for 3 straight now.
A little too much confusion on the Bucs offensive line there. You should know exactly where you're lining up for a point after.
Snap and hold was good. Kick is good. It's a 7-point game once again. The Bucs keep momentum and hope alive with a 45-yard touchdown pass from Bestie to Owen Isis, who now has 2 on the game. We'll take a break. When we return, kickoff. You're watching and listening live to Yankton Bucs football.
Yankton Rexall in the Meridian District is your Hallmark headquarters this holiday season. Buy your Hallmark Christmas ornaments, nativity scenes, willow tree, and precious moments there. Find wedding and anniversary gifts and single-serve Abdullah chocolates along with the new item, Gone Nuts. Yankton Rexall Pharmacy is there to help you with all your questions and prescription needs. Holiday shopping begins at the Yankton Rexall in downtown Yankton.
It's 42-35, Pierre leads, but Yankton gets themselves right back into this football game. 5:59 to play in our third quarter. We've got 18 minutes to play, and then a champion will be crowned here tonight in Vermilion at the Coyotes Dakota Dome. TJ, who needs a long drive? Just go and score it as soon as possible, right?
Right. Well, what the Bucs need to do right now is they need to stop. You just said there's 18 minutes left in the game, which seems like a lot of time. But with Pierre Governor's ability to score so quickly, the Bucs need the ball back, and they need to tie up this game right now.
So the Governors will receive this kickoff, but Yankton gets to boot it away from the Governors' 45. We'll see how Villanueva plays it. He is the all-conference special teamer. He's been great all season long on kickoffs and punts. So Villanueva will back up as the Bucs line up yet again here. We have seen countless kickoffs here tonight. Villanueva checks each side, runs up to get this one going, and he'll just send that straight through the end of the end zone. As soon as he wound up his leg, it was a no-brainer what the decision was. Pierre will start from their own 20-yard line.
Bucs defense now has to look to stop that running game. Of course, that leaves them wide open for the over-the-top passes that have been so dangerous tonight.
1st and 10 for the Governors. As you've mentioned, those over-the-top passes. Pierre, I mean, really, what hasn't worked well for this Pierre offense? Whether running the football or throwing it deep. We've seen a couple of times where a defender just went unrecognized as a receiver and was able to basically walk it into the end zone. So Jaron Deal hands it off to start this drive, getting through the line of scrimmage and extra across the 40 there is Porter Hunsley. Over 20 yards on the carry, and Pierre, another big play that goes 26 yards.
And once again, he slipped through arms off the line of scrimmage, which let him spring for another first down.
The Governors just look unstoppable on offense right now. This Bucs defense needs to get it figured out. If you give up a touchdown here, you have got to play a perfect game to even be in it the rest of the way. Jaron Deal out of the shotgun. Again, gives it up. Porter Hunsley. Porter Hunsley tries to set the edge, gets around, dives forward. A nice pickup on first down. He'll pick up about 6, maybe 7 yards. 2nd and short on the way.
You know, one of the reasons this Pierre Governors team is able to run the ball so well is they're sealing off ends. They're getting around the end, but then it's the blocking from the receivers that aren't allowing the Bucs secondary to come up and fill the hole.
I love that you pointed out the blocking from the wide receivers, because both Carter Schuffelbein and Cooper Terwilliger listed as receivers. They're big. Cooper Terwilliger, a tight end, but he's 6'6", 240 pounds. And then Carter Schuffelbein, even though only 5'10", 165, is very strong for his size. 2nd and 4 here for the Governors. Dropping back, throwing it deep is Deal as Tegan LaCroix tried making a play on the ball. Did he bobble it or did he catch it going out of bounds? They're going to say he made the catch. A 21-yard pickup. We'll watch the replay on the big screen here. That looks like a catch to me, TJ. Nice call by the officials.
That has been a tough play tonight. A lot of guys have not been able to pull that in right on the edge line.
Under 5 minutes to play in the third. Pierre leads 42-35, and they're driving the football again here as they look to inch closer to a 50-point performance. 10 yards to go. It's first down as Hunsley escaped the initial pressure from Madden McQuaid. Driving forward as Hunsley somehow got 3 yards. That should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage.
You know, Drace Gaskins was holding on to him, and it's a tough guy to shed, and he was dragging Gaskins along the edge of the line.
You can tell adrenaline is rushing in the veins right now of each team. I mean, Drace Gaskins, I interviewed him a few weeks ago. I don't think I could drag him for an inch if he was hanging on to me. Just over 4 minutes to play in our third quarter of action. 2nd and 7, Pierre with the football on the Yankton 28-yard line. Trips right, and do we see the first pre-snap penalty against Pierre? Madden McQuaid definitely let him know he was excited about this one. It will be a false start against Pierre. It's their first penalty that's not 15 yards. It'll bump it back to 2nd and 12. This feels like a situation Yankton's defense needs to capitalize on.
Hopefully that enthusiasm from the Bucs secondary will come in and stop this play.
And I've talked with multiple Bucs players, and they talk about Madden McQuaid, almost some fear in their voice. They say he's just an animal out there. You'd hate to get on his wrong side on the football field. 2nd and 12 here after the false start by the Governors offense. It's their first misfire in that way. Hunsley gets the pitch, dives it up forward to about the 27-yard line. A nice pickup there of 6 yards. 3rd and medium. They need 6. They just got 6 and they need 6 more. They're in that territory, though. If they don't get it, you think maybe they go for it. Third down, the Bucs defense, a huge opportunity here to get a stop. It feels like one they've got to have, as Pierre threatening to score again in Yankton territory. Probably not quite in field goal range as Jaron Deal pump fakes the quick pass, lobs it up deep, and pass is broken up, but it's going to be pass interference on Yankton.
And that's the right call. He was there. He was in good position. He got his arms up, but he didn't get his head around. Could be pass interference against Yankton.
And I'm with you right there, TJ. You know, obviously Yankton doesn't want the call, but that is a pretty clear pass interference. It will be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for the Governors here. And now they will march the football up. It was at the 27-yard line. And it'll actually be half the distance to the goal because 15 was greater than that distance, up to about the 16-yard line of Yankton. Feels like kind of a backbreaker penalty for the Bucs.
That's a difficult one to take.
Again, though, the right call by the officials there. Definitely was pass interference. 1st and 10, Jaron Deal with it on the Bucs 16-yard line, hands it off. Hunsley with some room, up towards the 5-yard line, drags defenders in. He's got it in. What I believe is a Pierre touchdown. The Governors are rolling, as it will be a touchdown.
Another difficult play to take. Yankton hit him, and it looked like they were ready to wrap him up, but there's so much spinning and so much running going on, and it was almost like the Yankton defender pulled him along toward the end zone.
That makes it 48-35, back to a two-possession game, favoring the Governors. For Hunsley, it's his 3rd touchdown run of the night, his 4th total in the game. And now a bobble on the snap, and Templeton still puts it in. He is 7 for 7. Your score, 49-35. Bucs trail the Governors with 2:45 to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back for kickoff on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
At Anytime Fitness Yankton, your fitness journey starts with one step. And Anytime Fitness will be with you every step of the way. Open 24 hours a day with top-of-the-line equipment and guidance you need to reach your goals. Plus, your membership gives you access to every Anytime Fitness gym anywhere. No matter your goals, no matter the time, you belong at Anytime Fitness Yankton. Located at 2509 Fox Run Parkway. Start today at Anytime Fitness, where your fitness journey never stops.
Late in the 3rd quarter, Pierre leads by 2 possessions, 49-35. It's getting to the point where Yankton, it's now or never. You need to keep putting up points, and you need to get stops on defense. This Pierre offense has just scored at will, only been stopped a couple times. Then on top of that, Yankton with a fumble and an onside kick that they gave up to the Governors. Those have really added up here tonight, TJ.
You knew you had to come in tonight and just play a nearly perfect game if you wanted to have a chance to beat this Pierre Governors.
And now a squib that'll bounce and go deep into Yankton territory. Eidsness will be forced to pick it up at the 10. He'll be brought down by the 11. And just on cue, another miscue by Yankton. They let that one roll a while, and now more bad news as Owen Eidsness hobbles up. You're going to need him if you want to come back in this one.
Yeah, and it just feels like everything is bouncing Pierre's direction right now. They just had a fumbled long snap, but they still got the PAT through.
It is, and that's, Pierre, when we talked about it with Coach Steele, is they just find ways to win. It doesn't matter if it looks like they're going to win or not. This year and the past 8 years, they just find ways to win, and right now it's hats off to the Governors. They came prepared to play. Yankton with an uphill battle the remainder of this one. 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line, up the middle. Jason Lachek breaks the first tackle. He'll pick up maybe a couple before, just a swarm of defenders all over him. Picked up about a yard, 2nd and 9. And here's the difference too, TJ. Now only 22 carries for Jay Sedlacek total. There was a point in time he was pacing 40 carries in the game. Bestie from the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jay Sedlacek, great blocking up the middle, crosses into the 20, brought down at the 24-yard line, and a first down for Yankton, a 12-yard pickup. And that's just another thing. One-on-one situations tackling, Pierre has not missed once. I mean, tackling could be, if you wanted to sum up in one word the difference in this game, tackling.
Absolutely. Pierre's doing the job, and Yankton's having a hard time hanging on or getting low or getting the victory in the tackle.
Sedlacek with back-to-back runs. This time they'll use Bestie, who puts it up towards Owen Eidsness. That one nearly picked off. Instead, it'll just be a pass defense. Lincoln Schoenhardt in coverage. Got a hand on it, and boy, TJ, had that one been pulled in, that might have been awfully hard for Yankton to overcome. 2nd and 10 for Yankton. They just can't have any more misfires from here on out. Duo of receivers on each side. Sedlacek has the lead back with Tate Bestie out of the shotgun. Bestie on the far side, a quick pass. Boomsma, his first catch of the night. Breaks the first tackle, breaks the second across the 40, and now he stays on his feet up to the 49-yard line. We were just talking about tackling, and Carter Boomsma says, all right, let's watch this.
Great example of a senior wanting to extend this game. He just was not going to go down there, even though he was entirely wrapped up.
Carter Boomsma, his first reception of the night, it goes for 25 yards. And Yankton gets one of those big plays that Pierre's done so well. They need a few more. 1st and 10 for the Bucks at midfield. A pitch here to Sedlacek, who just slips, and that's going to lose 4 yards. Because the official ruling in high school, it's not like the NFL where you need to be touched down. Once you're on the ground, you are officially down. So Jay Sedlacek is going to lose a good 3.5 yards. 2nd and 13 on the way. Again, miscues, TJ, have really gotten in the way of Yankton. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Tate Bestie with some time in the pocket, rolls out, fires it, it's caught near the Pierre 43-yard line. Cale Hazelhorst brings it about a yard shy of first down, 3rd and 1 on the way.
Hazelhorst has been able to find himself in good positions today to help out Tate Bestie. When Tate's scrambling, Hazelhorst has been in a good spot.
5 catches for nearly 60 yards for Hazelhorst as they bump him back for a 10-yard pickup. It's 3rd and now about 3 yards. They hand it off. Sedlacek behind the line of scrimmage. He gets brought down, loses 2. Sedlacek on his last 2 carries, a total loss of 5 yards. And that will bring up 4th down for the Yankton Bucks as we enter our 4th quarter of play. After 3, it's 49-35, the Governors lead. Yankton needs a perfect 4th quarter to pull it off when we return.
For beautiful decor and gifts this holiday season, it's Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts of Yankton. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. From Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts of Yankton, your Christmas and holiday cheer store.
At Anytime Fitness Yankton, your fitness journey starts with one step. And Anytime Fitness will be with you every step of the way. Open 24 hours a day with top-of-the-line equipment and guidance you need to reach your goals. Plus, your membership gives you access to every Anytime Fitness gym anywhere. No matter your goals, no matter the time, you belong at Anytime Fitness Yankton. Located at 2509 Fox Run Parkway. Start today at Anytime Fitness, where your fitness journey never stops.
We've got 12 minutes of play left here tonight. as the Yankton Bucks trail 49-35 to the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. A massive fourth down. It's 4th and 5. It is loud here in the stadium as the Bucks desperately need a first down. The Governors, with a stop, would be feeling awfully good about their chances. Sidlacek leaves the backfield. It's open now for just Tate Bestie. Looking for anything. That pass caught. Cale Hazelhorse, but we do have a penalty flag in the backfield. As of now, it would be a 6-yard pickup, maybe even a couple extra. And it will be a hold against Yankton, which will push the Bucks back and really going to make it tough to try and convert on this fourth down. And if you punt it, TJ, Pierre's been so good on offense. I mean, a tough situation Muth is in with his team, and Villanueva is out on the field to punt it away.
Tough decision here for Yankton. But you're just a little too far deep in your own territory here. You're going to have to give the ball up and trust your defense to go get it back for you.
And it will make it 4th and 14, as you said. I mean, just a little too far to try and go for it here. Liam Villanueva to punt this one away. Yankton looking for anything to get back into this game. A booming punt caught at about the 9-yard line. It's Shufflebind. Shufflebind brought down around the 12, and multiple flags fly. A lot of laundry on the field right now. It's 49-35, 11:42 to play here. On the field, we await what the call is. If it's against Pierre, they're going to be pushed back deep into their own territory. Now they pick up the flag, and we await the call. Be an illegal block in the back, TJ, and half the distance to the goal puts them at the 5-yard line, and maybe this is what the Bucks defense needs to just get some momentum rolling.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better situation to pin Pierre back on their own 5-yard line.
6 penalties on Pierre, 8 on Yankton, 14 total in the game. The Governors, 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. Bucks can't really give up anything here. They trail 14. And they don't even want to give up time as this one through the air goes Pierre. They've got a first down on their first play. Carter Shufflebind, who else? A 15-yard pickup for Carter Shufflebind. Governors move the chains, and now they're a little bit more open to running their regular offense. No longer pushed back in their own 5-yard line. Governors with a 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. They picked up 15 on their last play. Now a handoff to Hunsley. Hunsley follows his block. It's a nice pickup. Stays on his feet after hard contact. Still drives forward. It's a first down and extra. Porter Hunsley on a 16-yard effort. And TJ, he got hit low. He caught himself on the ground with his hand. How on earth did he make that happen?
Well, he just kept going, where the Bucks defense just kind of stood around and watched the play, what they thought was ending, but he didn't let it end. He just kept going. If the Bucks want to win this game, they have got to finish plays like that on the first hit.
And we'll see. The Governors, you got a 2-possession lead, just over 11 minutes. Do you start milking that clock a little bit? It kind of looks like they are going to do just that. 5 on the play clock here from the shotgun is Jaron Deal, as flags will fly before the ball is snapped. Another false start on the Governors. 1st and 15. Now Yankton's absolutely got to capitalize on this. You're getting to the now or never moments with under 11 minutes to play in a 2-possession game. Clock will resume ticking, though. That is one thing to note. After a penalty, Is it starts back up. Pierre can now use another good 30-plus seconds off of the clock as they'll do just that. 1st and 15, ball on their own 32-yard line. Jaron Deal takes a snap in the shotgun, pitches it out. Shufflebine on the carry, tries to get to the outside. He's brought out of bounds. Looks like he lost a yard, maybe 2, and he ran out of bounds. He'll lose a yard. 2nd and 16, and again, TJ, him being forced out of bounds was the best thing that could have happened. Not even necessarily the 1-yard loss.
That was a great job by Carson Krall, who made contact and just stuck with him. They finished running all the way to the sideline. Didn't let him get around the end.
Governors now facing a 2nd and 16 situation. Again, that has not been a problem for them in this game as Deal now wants to pass it into the middle of the field. It goes. Terwilliger somehow pulls it in at the 50. Cooper Terwilliger is having a game. A 19-yard pickup and a fresh set of downs for the Governors.
And I was watching Terwilliger on that route. It was not a great route at all. He didn't cut very crisply. He ran into extra coverage, but he went up and pulled that ball in.
Just straight up caught it over the head of the defender. You know, you hate to say it against Yankton, but they just got mossed. Under 10 minutes to play. 1st and 10 for the Governors. Now have moved the ball into Yankton side of the field at the 49-yard line. A quick out pass to Shufflebine. Shufflebine picks up about 5 before he's pushed out of bounds. They'll give him 4. 2nd and 6 on the way. Carter Boomsma was the defender who got him out. 9:44 to play. And I'm a little surprised to see the Governors running so many outside routes here when they've got the 14-point lead. But, you know, this drive has already taken off a minute and a half. They're moving the ball well. If you can keep moving the chains, it really doesn't matter, I suppose, anything about that clock. Empty backfield here for Jaron Deal. A quarterback run. He's going to keep it himself. Follows his lead block and jump cuts into a 2-yard gain.
I will say that was a good job by Easton Fieser there. He dove at Deal and was able to get him wrapped up by both feet. And you're not going to run anywhere if you've got both feet wrapped up.
3rd and 4 here now for the Governors offense. Yankton has struggled to stop them here in the second half when needed. Can they do it this time? Ball is at the 34 of the Bucks. Jaron Deal from the shotgun. There is a penalty. And I think another false start on Pierre. It is, and TJ breathes just a little life into Yankton.
As much as we talked about, Yankton has to play almost a perfect game not to give themselves a chance to come back in this game. Pierre keeps giving them little chances to get their way back in.
That moves it to 3rd and 9. Clock continues ticking. Under 9 minutes to play now. The one thing going for Yankton is they always play as a quick hurry-up offense. So it shouldn't be any different, maybe just a little quicker than usual. 3rd and 9 here. Trips right for the Governors, 2 off to the left. Deal has some time, puts it in the middle. It's caught. Shufflebine at the 25-yard line, moves it up to the 17. There was a penalty in the backfield. It might be a late hit on Yankton. A 31-yard pickup for Jaron Deal to Carter Shufflebine, who has made all the impact in the world in this game. And Madden McQuaid will get tagged with a roughing the passer, and it will be half the distance to the goal. They were up to the 17, now at about the 8-yard line. And they got so close to hitting him when he was throwing it. Usually if there's a penalty that late in the backfield, it's going to be a roughing the passer. 1st and goal for the Governors, 8:30 to play in the game. They already lead 2 touchdowns. Yankton cannot give up a touchdown here. Governors are going to be content to use up every last bit of their play clock from here on out. They can hit the 8-minute mark before the ball's even snapped. Five seconds, they'll take the snap, handoff Hunsley, back up the middle. He drives it in, touchdown Pierre. An 8-yard touchdown run for Porter Hunsley. Hunsley has 5 touchdowns in tonight's game.
What a performance. And on that run, Chase Platt hit him hard, but Hunsley just bowled right through him, dragged him all the way into the end zone.
55-35, that gives Pierre the lead. 20, they're up. An extra point makes it 21, 3 touchdowns. And Templeton, how many times have we seen him on the field? 8 for 8 on extra points, 56-35. The Governors lead this one. Bucks to return the kickoff when we come back on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
Welcome to Wall of Fame, where style meets customization, specializing in crafting custom clothing and print shirts. We ensure every stitch and every print is of the highest quality, so you get the best clothes every time. We're here for all your promotion needs, and the best part, our process is seamless. Simply share your designs with us and we'll handle the rest. Get custom clothes for the best price. Wall of Fame.
Back to the field, things looking a little glum for Yankton. They're going to need a score, and they're going to need a score quick. 8 minutes to play, they trail 21, 56-35. Governors on top. Yankton came in as the number 1 seed. The Governors came in as the number 3 seed. Governors defeated the number 2 seed in 11AA in Huron last week, and looking to take down number 1 as well. You just wonder how they do it year in, year out. A sophomore quarterback who didn't start the season has looked excellent, and Pierre's probably looking awfully excited to have him for the next 2 years. Kickoff, a squib over to the 20-yard line, and just going to dive on it there is Carson Krall. Little extracurricular on the field. Flags flying. Like I said earlier, TJ, these teams don't necessarily like each other.
Well, it's a state championship game. Both sides are giving everything they've got. Emotions run high.
You got a vote? No.
Yep.
Again, it's 56-35. The Governors lead this one. Under 8 minutes to play in this one. Yankton has the football. And this one is marching back. And it will be a personal foul on Yankton. A 15-yard penalty, we said half the distance to the goal, but that's not going to be the case. Now they're trying to figure out what's going on. And now they'll move it even further back to the 15-yard line, and Yankton, that's just an emotional foul right there. As Jolton Reimnitz-Hahn picks up the 15-yarder. 10 penalties now on Yankton. Amaro shifts as the H-back to the right side of the line, and Eidsness will move the other way. A handoff to Sedlacek. No, into the hands of Tegan LaCroix. Fires this one deep as it's a free-for-all. Deflected, and it's incomplete.
A lot of misdirection on that play, but Pierre just wasn't fooled by it at all. They had 4 or 5 defenders in the area on Owens Eidsness.
Pierre's lucky I wasn't on the defense there. I thought for sure Jay Check had the football. Instead on the reverse, it was Tegan LaCroix, who then attempted a pass. Trips receivers to the left, one to the right here. Bestie in the shotgun with Sedlacek as his lead back. Quick pass, fire to the outside to Abe O'Brien, incomplete. Back-to-back incompletions for the Bucks. The Bucks do not want to give the ball back to Pierre. Tate Bestie directing his team on what to do on a 3rd and 10. A pass attempt here as Bestie just avoids pressure, finds a wide open man at 40, the 50, into the Pierre territory. Carter Boomsma, another big play. A 54-yard pickup, just what Yankton needed. Just brings a little bit of life into that offense. And the whistles will blow now. A timeout called by Pierre. It's our first Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton water break of the second half. Locally owned for 4 generations. Call them for water softening and purification, salt, reverse osmosis needs, and bottled water. That's Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton. We'll take that break and be back here in a moment.
For whatever plumbing needs that come your way, trust your local guys at Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating of Yankton. Leaky faucets, boilers, or anything in between. Rest assured it'll get done the right way. Looking for new plumbing? You got it. Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating takes care of residential and commercial, from houses to hospitals to banks. Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating of Yankton takes away the stress and provides great results. Locally owned and operated, and proud to support Yankton athletics.
Returning from the Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton water break, 7.5 to play in this one. Yankton trails 56-35 against the Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors. Their offense moving the football. A quick score keeps them alive. Three receivers off to the right, alone off to the right. Excuse me, the 3 off to the left. Bestie, another pass here. Sat in the pocket for a few seconds as it collapsed, got out of it, threw the football, caught to Jay Sedlacek. They'll pick up a yard. A 1-yard pickup as Sedlacek 12 yards off of 3 catches, but right now for Yankton, 1-yard pickups are not what you need, as that keeps the clock rolling and doesn't move the ball very far. From the Pierre 36-yard line. Tate Bestie rolls out, had pressure. He's going to hang on to this one himself. Has the first down up across the 20. Out of bounds, he runs it. And that's the kind of play you're looking for on offense. Tate Bestie with his longest run of the night. It goes 15 yards.
When you got the game on the line like this, you're looking for your quarterback to step up and make big plays, and that was a good play he just made there.
Boomsma, Eidsness, and O'Brien all to the left. Cale Hazelhorst over to the right side as receivers set up for this Yankton play. 1st and 10 from the Governor's 20-yard line. They look to throw it again, and this one caught Jason Sedlacek. Slips again, keeps it in play, picks up 4, and Jason Sedlacek has had some issues slipping tonight.
Even though they play on artificial turf all year long, this is indoors, and it is a little bit different. And I think that as the game wears on, you get sweatier and get a little more moisture on the field. Makes it a little harder to keep your footing.
2nd and 6 here. Ball on the 16-yard line. Bucks on offense moving it. Tate Bestie lofts it up for his main receiver, but this one picked off. An interception that might just wrap this one up here tonight. Hudson Stozier comes up with a big one. Not sure how Stozier pulled that one in. A heck of a play, though, on defense.
Heck of a play. It was a little bit of a look what I found. As soon as he turned his head around, the ball was right there, but somehow he was able to hold on to it.
And now immediate timeout. We'll take that timeout when we return. 6:21 to play. Governors lead 56-35 over the Yankton Bucks.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
Triple Time Rudy's on the corner of 16th and Broadway, Yankton. Stop in and check out their wide variety of items. Grab some snacks, whether you want chips, popcorn, or something sweet, they have it. Ice cold beverages, or when you need that boost in the morning, coffee. You can also grab the best locally produced meats, meat sticks, and cheeses in the area, guaranteed fresh. For those hot days, grab a Freezy too. Get all your car needs and 5 cents off a gallon when using cash. All at Triple Time Rudy's, Yankton.
We return to the field. It's 1st and 10 for the Governors on offense. They can use some clock here. They'll keep it with Jaron Deal, a run up the middle to about the 26-yard line. He'll pick up 6, 2nd and 4. We near the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Pierre inching closer and closer to their 8th state championship in 9 seasons. Second and 4 for the Governors with the football in their own territory on the 25-yard line, running the clock as much as they want. Deal out of the shotgun, takes a snap. Again, he'll run it himself. He'll be stopped shy of the first down, picked up 1, maybe 2, a 3rd and short on the way.
Aaron Fieser was in there on that play, and that's 2 plays in a row that Aaron did a good job of getting right past the defensive line and at least getting an arm out and slowing down the runner, if not making the tackle.
3rd and 2 is the official call here. With another first down, Pierre can really run a lot of time off this clock. They'll be able to run it below 5 minutes here. With a 21-point lead, they've got to be feeling good about it. Deal takes a snap, hands it off. Porter Hunsley up the middle, driving that pile. He's brought down, or they'll whistle it dead right around the first down line, and it looks like they gave him enough for a Pierre first down. A 2-yard pickup, 2 yards and no more, but it's exactly what Pierre needed for a first. Clock continues to tick as the Bucks' state title chances just keep getting lower with every second that gets taken off the clock. 4.5 minutes to play here. First and 10 for the Governors on their own 31. Porter Hunsley, again the handoff, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Pierre right now has one thing on their mind, and that is to not turn the ball over. They're being very careful with that ball, and they're making sure that it doesn't hit the ground.
And you said it, with under 4 minutes to play, they're not even really caring too much. They'd love to get a first down, but as you said, just hang on to the ball, keep the clock ticking. Even if they're forced to punt away, giving Yankton the football with under 3 minutes to play, you're up 3 scores. 2nd and 10 here, the Governors with the football. Jaron Deal works it from the shotgun. They look to throw it. A quick pass to the outside, caught at the 35, and nearing the 40-yard marker is Shufflebine, and he gets brought out exactly at the 40. A pickup of 9. And now it's 3rd and 1. Clock does stop, but 3rd and 1 for the Governors. We'll see if Yankton can get a stop here. Governors set up their offense. Yankton looking to get a stop here. Jaron Deal from the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off. Hunsley has it, and he's got the first down, brought down at the 44-yard line. It is a 4-yard pickup, and that right there, TJ, it feels like Pierre knows they've just won the state championship off that run.
And that's how the crowd is reacting. Pierre crowd now all on their feet, giving their team a standing ovation.
Every year, Pierre is going to be competitive in football. That has been true for the last decade. In the last decade, Pierre's made 9 state championship appearances. We'll see should they get their 8th state title, barring a total collapse here. 1st and 10 for the Governors, 10 on the play clock. Under 3 minutes left in the game. A handoff, Porter Hunsley. Hunsley, a nice pickup on 1st down. He nears midfield before he's brought down. 2nd and about 4. Second and 4. Two and a half minutes to go in this one. It's 2nd down. The Governors with the football at midfield. One more 1st down. They could probably just have the football the remainder of the game. Again, they'll move it with Hunsley. He gets the first. Lowers his shoulder, drives it down inside the Yankton 45. It'll move the chains, and a pickup of 6 yards on his 22nd carry of the night. As now we cross the 2-minute mark. And it looks like Yankton not going to call their timeouts, conceding that Pierre has won this football game. Only a few more plays remain in this one. 1st and 10 as a flag will fly. We'll see, is it a false start? It is. Pierre's not too worried about a 5-yard penalty this late in the game. It'll be 1st and 15.
You know, we talk about how Yankton kind of runs their fast-paced offense, but Pierre has been running a fairly fast-paced offense tonight themselves. And for them to slow it down and run 20 seconds off the clock with each play, that's kind of got them off their rhythm.
100 seconds to play in this one. Pierre inching closer and closer to another state title. All time, Yankton and Pierre with the same amount of state titles. Tonight will be the tiebreaker between that. Ball is around the 49-yard line of the Bucks. Another handoff. Porter Hunsley gets stopped at the line of scrimmage and brought down for no gain.
Porter Hunsley on that play got stood up at the line of scrimmage, and then it was more like he just decided to go down instead of fight for additional yardage.
And it's exactly what you said earlier, you know. Don't turn the ball over. Keep it in your hands. Keep that clock rolling, as after this next ball is snapped, we'll have a minute or less to play in the game. And Yankton, you know, not calling the timeouts. They've got them, but really no point in using them. Unfortunately for the Bucks, they will get runner-up in the state championship game here tonight, as we have under a minute to play. And victory formation now for the Governors, as taking a knee is Jaron Deal. A loss of 5 yards on that carry, but it doesn't matter. He's got something much bigger, and that's going to be a state championship win as a sophomore quarterback who did not start the season. We have got one more play here tonight before this game is over. 3rd and long for the Governors. They just need to take one final knee, and this game will be over. There it is. The Pierre T.F. Riggs Governors have won their 8th state title. in the last 9 years. Yankton will be runner-up in the state championship for the second time in the last 3 years. And for the last 4 years, Pierre has eliminated Yankton in the playoffs. They just can't seem to get over that hump. Your final score, 56-35, with the Governors winning this one. Congrats to the Governors on what was a fantastic season, and also congratulations to the Bucks on a great season. Just couldn't quite get it done here tonight, but what a fun season it's been. I've been honored to be able to call all of their games. I've had TJ, you've got to be a part of majority of the football games. It's been great to have you. And unfortunately for Yankton, their season will come up just shy here in the final game of the season.
Now, I got to hand it to this Buck football team. They've played fantastic football all year long. They played great as a team together, and so they got to walk out of here holding their heads high. They played this Pierre Governors team to a great championship football game.
Coming up, our First Dakota National Bank post-game show and our Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton hot hand / hitter of the game. That's all coming up on our post-game show. And then, of course, the award ceremony and final stats coming up on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
The Bone Setter Chiropractic, Yankton. I'm Dr. TJ Stotz. When you need chiropractic, we're here. We use a hands-on approach, decompression traction, electrical stimulation, acupuncture, and state-of-the-art examination techniques. We're happy to offer exercise and supplement advice as well. The Bone Setter Chiropractic, 215 Mulberry, Suite 9, Yankton. Call or text 605-401-5701. Bringing you comfort when there's discomfort.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part. Earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Authentic Mexican food goods with the family touch is here in Yankton at Angela's Mexican Store. From fresh produce and meats to the spices and the snacks you miss from home. Traveling or just moved? No problem. They accept money from many different countries. Check out the different kinds of money on the wall. Family owned, family loved. They treat you like family. Angela's Mexican Store, where culture meets community. Stop in today.
As we enter our First Dakota National Bank post-game show, First Dakota has proudly supported the dreams and banking needs of their customers for over 150 years. They offer personal, business, and ag banking solutions for every stage of your journey with 2 locations, downtown and North Broadway, Yankton. Big thank you to South Dakota Public Broadcasting for allowing us to cover this game, as they have full rights. For complete coverage, updated scores, and photos of the high school football championships, visit sdpb.org/football. All games will be broadcast live on television on SDPB1 TV. For updated content, check out SDPB Sports on social media. On the field here, they have the award ceremony for the runner-up, your Yankton Bucks. Ken, congrats to the Bucks on a hard-fought season, second place this year, as they just couldn't quite get over that hump. Time for your final stats as they hand out the awards, and we'll keep the camera on them on Yankton streaming. Starting with Pierre, Porter Hunsley had 23 attempts, 171 yards, and 4 touchdowns rushing. Jaron Deal with 13 attempts, 44 yards. And Shufflebine with 1 attempt, lost a yard. Jaron Deal went 14 of 20, 287 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And catching the football Carter Schuffelbein, 7 receptions, 172 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Terwilliger, 5 receptions, 79 yards and a touchdown. And Porter Hunsley, 1 catch, 19 yards and a touchdown. On defense, leading for tackles, Hudson Schaefer with 6 total. Sutton Sonnenschein for 6 total. Willem Eilers with 6 total. And Porter Hunsley with 5. Your final stats here for the Bucks: Jason Lachek with 24 attempts, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tate Bestie, 5 rushing attempts, 16 yards. Feaser had it 4 times for 15 yards, and Tegan LaCroix took it once for 5 yards. Tate Bestie threw the football 20 of 32, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tegan LaCroix 0 for 1. Catching, Owen Isaacs had 7 receptions, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cale Hazelhorst, 5 catches, 56 yards. Jason Lachek brought in 4 attempts for 17 yards. And Carter Boomsma, 2 catches, 74 yards. And then, tackling, leading the way for the Bucks, Chase Platt with 9, Carter Boomsma 8, Carson Krall 7, and Easton Feaser with 6. And the MVP here of the game tonight, we'll see who it is. It's going to be Porter Hunsley. And that's pretty hard to argue when he had almost 200 all-purpose yards, 5 touchdowns, TJ.
What a performance tonight by so many of these kids. They all did a really fantastic job. As you were just reading off these numbers, especially the seniors on the Bucs side, that each individual, when you look at their statistics, did some fantastic things tonight. They just got outlasted.
And then returning the football on kicks, Carter Schuffelbein had 2 for 115 yards and a touchdown. Hudson Stozier 2 for 24. Tegan LaCroix with 1 return. It went 88 yards and all the way for 6. And Carson Krall 3 for 7 total yards. And again, that will wrap it up here tonight as Pierre T.F. Riggs takes the championship 56-35. But we're not quite done yet. We've got our Kaiser Heating and Cooling hot hand / hitter of the game. Yankton's original and most trusted heating and cooling professionals for over 76 years. Kaiser Heating and Cooling, 808 West 23rd Street of Yankton. And TJ, we kind of talked about it a little beforehand, and I think we've got to give it to Jason Lachek in this football game. 24 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then catching the football, had a few 4 catches that went for a total of 16 yards. So 150 plus all-purpose yards, a couple of touchdowns. You know, what's the comment on that?
Well, Jace played his heart out tonight, and as did all of these kids, but he really came through in some really big situations for the Bucs tonight and just kept trying to put the Bucs back in the game.
As the celebration continues, and we're just being told now, this was the highest scoring 11-man football state championship game in South Dakota history. 56-35 your final score, 91 total points. It is an all-timer here that we saw in the Dakota Dome. Unfortunately for the Bucs, it did not favor them. Tomorrow morning during our breakfast with the coaches on Fox Sports 1015 AM 1570, we will have head coach Brady Muth to wrap up the season and chat one final time. You'll want to tune in at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Muth will join me, and it's just a quick breakfast with the coaches, as lots of other seasons are already wrapped up. I want to take a moment to everyone tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in, not only tonight but throughout the season. It's been a great year for Yankton Bucs football. I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stotz, Tristan Nelson helping out on the stream. Just thank you so much. Every year it's exciting, and the start of my second year of calling Yankton Athletics with 5-Star Communications on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube has started out as good as I could have asked for. A great and fun season as the Bucs season falls just short of a championship here tonight. Thank you to our Sportscaster Club members and our Element sponsors. Thank you, Yankton, for having me to call the games throughout the year. And now we look on to the next in both boys and girls basketball, which is only a few weeks out, as we'll redirect our attention there and look forward to what should be an exciting season for both Bucks and Gazelles basketball as they look to turn the tides and get back to winning ways. Again, for the final time tonight here, I'm Zach Spear alongside TJ Stotz and Tristan Nelson on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. This has been Yankton Bucks football presented by First Dakota National Bank of Yankton.
This has been a presentation of Yankton Bucks football on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. Brought to you by our corporate sponsor, First Dakota National Bank of Yankton, and the following Sportscaster Club members: Midwest Insurance Agency, Murph's Appliance, Yankton Thrive, Stockman's Motorsports, Les Schwab Tires, MT and RC Smith Insurance Agency, Linda's Angel Crossing, Hy-Vee, Boss's Pizza and Chicken, Bechet, Elwood Dental, Raven Books, Floor Tech Cleaning and Restoration, Angela's Mexican Store, Yankton Rexall, KFC Taco Bell, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Dragonfly, Slumberland, Larry's Heating and Cooling, America's Best Realty, Larson Carpet, Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Yankton Medical Clinic, All Seasons Power Sports, Winston Ray Funeral Home and Cremation Service, JR's Oasis, Intech Cleaning and Restoration, The Bone Setter, Kalen's Indoor Comfort, Triple Time Rudy's, Farmers Union Insurance, Meridian Photo, Graham Tire, Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts Yankton, and H&H Roofing. For everything Yankton Bucks football, tune in to Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton Streaming.